Yo, yo, yo. I'm not Nick. He's not here. He's coming later. He might be around for the remnants of Picks of the Week. He might not. That's okay. He was not in... Actually, no, he was on the podium. He was on the podium. Barely. But he wasn't in the top two. I know that much. We'll get into Picks of the Week, which was maybe the most ridiculous set of games we've ever seen. We'll talk about that here in just a bit. We'll talk about the FIFA meetings where two members of the presidents of different federations fell asleep. One was in Guam, and it was 1 a.m., so, I mean, at least I'll give him a little bit of a break. But it looked like a nice deck chair that he was sleeping on, so I hope he was comfortable. FIFA is saying that the 2-year World Cup is great. Everybody else is saying, not so much. And we'll talk about that. Talk about all the champions that are being determined in this hemisphere and get you up to date on championships and where things stand because, as we know, there are all kinds of different playoff formats. But one of the rare times that Jarrett is on Soccer Over There from the jump. That's crazy.
It is, but it's what we do. We like to keep things a little bit loosey-goosey.
Keep us on our toes.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Sure, let's call it that.
Sure.
This is it's not normal.
No.
Here I am. We've thrown the universe out of orbit.
It's weird, Jarrett. It's very weird.
You're welcome.
No, I'm not. One of the rare times that also Soccer Over There crosses streams with Soccer Down Here, where we talk a lot of MLS, and obviously being in Atlanta, a lot of Atlanta United. We have a Soccer Over There topic involving Atlanta United from Cesar Luis Merlo, who is, as you should know by now, a top-tier source.
Tier 1 source, baby.
You can go ahead and turn the notifications on. Top tier, tier 1, whatever you want to call it. He's right there. Works with TIC, works with Super Deportivo, works in Chile as well. He's in the know, and he tweeted this one about an hour ago. It's an interesting idea. So the idea that Cesar Luis Merlo is tweeting, Sao Paulo made a formal offer for Alan Franco, the Argentine Alan Franco, who is in Atlanta, not the Ecuadorian Alan Franco, who is rumored to be going to Charlotte. They've made a formal offer, una oferta formal. It is a loan with an obligation to buy, and this is not a translation issue. It is obligación. It is an obligation to buy. Now, as we know with our loan situations, sometimes you get loans with an option to buy. An obligation to buy is basically layaway. You're going to get the player, you're going to pay for a loan fee of some sort, and you're going to pay the transfer fee down the road.
I'll get you the money next Tuesday, I swear it.
Right. And you're committed to it. It's a contract. So this is, again, to be clear, because I know people will run sideways and backwards and spin around and walk on their hands doing this. Cesar Luis Merlo is very, very clear. He's not mincing words in his tweet. Sao Paulo, club in Brazil, made a formal offer for Alan Franco. Not Atlanta United offered Alan Franco, not that they let him walk out the door, not that he's walking out the door, not that he wants to walk out the door. None of that is being said. It is that a club made an offer for a player contracted to Atlanta United, and it is a loan with an obligation to buy. That is what it is. Emilio says, just say no. I don't think you just say no out of hand to anything. It's all about the numbers. There are numbers that make any player expendable. Now, I don't think Sao Paulo is going to be throwing those numbers around. That's up front. I don't think they're going to be throwing that number around. I don't know what that number is, but for his value to the team and his value in general, I think you might be talking 8 figures. You might be getting to that on a loan plus transfer fee. He'd have to get paid handsomely to make it worthwhile, too. If that money, and I know everybody then is talking about Miles and Mr. Fantastic's, like all that, Now, again, there are certain numbers that get certain people out of bed. I don't think the number for Alan Franco is that high, but it is still going to be high. And if somebody comes with that, one, it's not, okay, now we don't play with center backs. We're going to have to sign Noah Cobb and play him as a 16-year-old. No, then you have money to go buy another center back if you so choose, or make other moves. So this is an offer from another club that is being reported. That is where it stands. You can't make moves based off possibilities of other moves because, again, there's nothing concrete when it comes to Miles Robinson. There's been a couple reports. There's been nothing concrete there. He might go, he might not go, he might go now, he might go later. You don't know. You have to be ready to do business when it's time to do business. And you have lists of players to then go do other business with if it comes down to that. But in this situation where my gut reaction was, man, that's going to have to be a big number. Because I feel like the situation with the possibility, and the club's going to know likelihood of Miles Robinson going better than anybody else on the outside. But with that possibility, with what the depth chart looks like right now, it would have to be a large number that you would then probably take some of that and go and upgrade. But, again, we don't know what the number is. The report purely is that a club made an offer. That is where it stands. We'll see. All inverted nines, Domer. That's absolutely true. Joseph Martinez at center back from now on. Convert Jackson Conway to a center back. I mean, all the different things. That's what you're going to have to do because, when you sell a player, you can't go and buy a player to replace that player. No, it's not allowed. Burned exactly. This is where I'm at. And this is where my gut feeling is. Byrne reminds everybody that Sao Paulo didn't pay Dani Alves his salary. That's why he left in the middle of the season, was able to leave in the middle of the season, and is going to play for Barcelona. You have to keep that in mind. Domer, I don't know what you're at right there, but I'll go ahead and allow that, even though that's ridiculous. I'm not thinking that Sao Paulo can hit a number that is big enough. Will, settle down. He's already in all caps. Jared, things are out of control already because of Sailor Luis Merlo tweeting that people are making offers and people are freaking out.
This is because I'm here at the start.
It is. So. You did this. So, yes. I probably blame Merlo a little bit more than you, but it is what it is. Like, it's an offer. He's a good player.
Source.
Yeah, I think I'm not buying that they have the money for this to be worthwhile. That's where I'm at with it. Is I don't know if they can make that offer that gets people out of bed.
I mean, I can offer to buy Nashville tomorrow if I wanted to. I mean, I have the money for it. I can tell them I'll pay them next year. I mean, all the money for it. We'll see. It is one of those things, though, that if you do something like this, you go get someone else and you pay a lot of money, like you did when you got Alan Franco in the first place. Remember, you went through 3 or 4 center backs before you settled on Alan Franco, who, after he settled in, was a pretty damn good center back. I think people would be less hostile. Let's call it hostile. Had you not lost Anton Walks in the expansion draft, had Franco Escobar not gone to LA, but that's the business. This is a business. This is a money-making business at the end of the day.
Yes.
And you want to win, and you're going to win trophies. Don't get me wrong. You're out here to win trophies too. It's not just about making money, but it is a money-making business. Although it is almost comical to think about, what if they did this and they sold him next year for like $10 million? Because I'm not getting out of bed for anything south of 9. Personally, that's just me. For Alan Franco.
That's about where I'm at. I think 8 to 10 is my ballpark. It looks like it's, at least Transfermarkt has it. I don't remember really a lot of reporting about the numbers when the transfer went down. They have the fee at 2.8. Salary's probably pretty decent for him too, but 2.8 plus his value now, plus he's worth more than the 2.8 because of the season he had. Yeah, I think
to me he's more valuable to me than I think he is to you, Sao Paulo. Let me put it that way.
So that's a fair way to put it.
I don't want to do that, although it would be hilarious if you did next year and then Miles goes after the World Cup and Atlanta sells their center back pairing after next season to many tears and angst, but to north of like $20 million. That'd be hilarious. It would also be very tragic and very sad for a lot of us because we love Miles Robinson. We have watched him since he was lumbering around Coolray Field. Because,
yes.
My God. Again, Hey, the guy who scored to beat Mexico in extra time, that dude was helping anchor a back line with A.J. Cochran.
Mm-hmm. A.J. Cochran taught him a
Weird
lot.
Stuff happens. A.J. Cochran did teach him a lot. Yeah. I like to think that Taylor Ruthven also taught him something about dealing with us when we ask him questions.
Probably, so don't talk to those guys.
No.
Just don't do it.
I love Tyler Ruthven so much. He was one of my favorite people to talk to. Especially when it was like only two of us in there and he just let his guard down.
Oh, yeah.
It was so much fun.
For sure.
It's he to me, he's more valuable to me than I think he is to you.
Right? Yeah, I can buy that.
And that might change in a year.
It might.
Give me a year of like George Campbell takes the jump you think he can.
Right.
Have a different conversation. Although if I see people getting twisting the paper in their hands, getting stressed out about a guy that they complained about not being a DP caliber defender, don't turn around and tell me that. Don't turn around me and tell me you can't sell him.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen because man,
because you can go get somebody else, maybe somebody you like. I don't know.
Right. You've got anyway. Burn a couple points. You're dead on. Like one, to be again to literally read the tweet. It's not a loan with an option to buy. According to Merlo, the offer is a loan with an obligation to buy. So if you enter into that contract, there's an obligation for Sao Paulo to pay you. Now, it's also true that they didn't pay Dani Alves. I don't know. Maybe they didn't want to pay Dani Alves. I don't know what all the deals.
I would gladly pay you tomorrow for a cheeseburger today.
Yeah, the wimpy approach. Yes,
but you're not saying that without a legal binding document that's backing it up. That's the part that I keep trying to reiterate that is so vital here. It's not an option. It's not a possibility. It's not a promise to transfer. It's an obligation, and that would be in the contract. So that's what the offer on the table is. But I also agree, Bern. Like I don't know why they would pay enough to make it worthwhile when they could go to Argentina themselves and get a player, maybe not of the same level, maybe of roughly the same level, and probably pay less because they'd be able to get to a club that would be more willing to buy or more willing to sell right now. So, yeah, we'll see. It is again, to be perfectly clear, Sao Paulo, according to Cesar Luis Merlo, has made a formal offer, a loan with an obligation to buy for Atlanta United's Alan Franco. Nothing about did they like the offer, nothing about did anybody get out of bed over the offer, nothing about anything other than Sao Paulo's made an offer. The biggest takeaway is, that number 6 guy, Alan Franco, he's pretty good, and people like him, and maybe some of the histrionics were a little overdone about him. I thought he improved a lot as the year went on. I love his game. He's got a nastiness to him. He's got a little bit of an attitude. That's cool. Maybe not with dissent to referees at the end of games to get sent off, but, I like him, and I hope he's here. And if he's not, I hope that the club makes a whole lot of money if this is the deal that comes down. I don't think they can offer that kind of money, is what it comes down to. Yes, Mahi, you are dead on percent. You're right. It says everyone's acting like they don't send 100 lowball offers out on FIFA just to get turned down. For all we know, that's what Sao Paulo's ownership is doing. Yeah, it's they just throwing something out there. It's like, no, we're not even taking that off the fax machine. No. But we tried. So they can tell their people that, hey, we're trying to upgrade. Yeah, we're trying.
We went after Alan Franco with Atlanta United, but they told us no.
Well, now, this is the other interesting thing about that, John, because saying that the way you said it in some countries would show that, hey, you're going after a big player. I don't know if the Brazilian fan base of Sao Paulo would see that as a big deal. They think they're a much bigger club than Atlanta United. Would they be impressed by that? I have no idea. I would tend to think not, because some of the bigger Argentine clubs have the same attitude, and some big clubs elsewhere on the continent have that same attitude. That's why it's a really weird situation all the way around, because it just feels like it would have to be such a big offer that they could do better with their money to make it make sense. And I don't know if they're really getting brownie points for making the offer, reportedly, either. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's an agent ploy of, hey, my player's in demand. Like, who knows? There's so many different things for it. I don't know. Kessie, you don't need to cut any promos this week. Don't even worry about that, Kessie. There was one entrant into the picks of the week that finished in the negative, and it would be the collective known as the Twitch Pitch. So you don't need any promos.
Oh wow, I was gonna volunteer. It was me.
You always say that. You were next to last, but you finished in the positive at least. All right, let's get into our good friend of the show, Gianni Infantino, the president of FIFA.
I've heard of him.
Talking about playing games and throwing lures out there to try to get people going, which maybe that's what this Merlo report is. Infantino is making it clear to people, and he's telling anybody in the media who will talk to him, that he believes he's got majority backing for the biennial World Cup plan. That's a tactic, ladies and gentlemen. That is a tactic when he knows he doesn't have a popular, from the powerful side, he doesn't have a popular plan here from the people who have all the money. But because of the politics of it, he might actually have that majority to get the vote done. But it's not a smart move to just plow through with it. If he had that, he could put it on the table, they could do it at the FIFA Congress, and it could be done by the end of the year. He's not saying that. But he's making it clear to everybody who listen, I can do this. Y'all need to play games. You need to work with me here. So Infantino says, if I was going to a vote tomorrow, probably the majority would vote in favor of a World Cup every 2 years. But it is not the topic. We are looking at the entire calendar and how we can make football better and how many we can bring on board with a new way of organizing the future in football. He did not say when a vote would be held on a biennial World Cup or if it'd be on the agenda at the FIFA Congress in Doha on March 31st. Same general stuff. It's about getting the right decisions. We continue the dialogue. We hope we can make progress. Some middle way. We will see. Blah, 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 blah. Middle way could be what we talked about a week ago. Victor Montagliani, the head of CONCACAF, threw out the idea of a revamped Confederations Cup without a qualifying process, which is, in my opinion, the most appealing thing about that idea is you get a World Cup-ish kind of tournament, but you don't have a whole qualifying process that takes up a bunch of the calendar. So here's where FIFA's not winning anybody over yet. UEFA published a report, and again, everybody's playing the politics and the lobbying game here. UEFA published a report that said revenues for European national federations would drop between 2.5 and 3 billion euros over a 4-year cycle with the biennial World Cup. That feels like a huge number. Maybe that's accurate. Maybe that's exaggerated. I don't know. Italian company Open Economics were told at this Monday summit, make sure Guam knows that this is accurate and happening, make sure he gets the email. They found that the revenues of domestic leagues and UEFA competitions were not hurt by national team and international club competitions. Of course they did. They were commissioned by the other side of the voting idea here. A report from Nielsen predicted that the biennial World Cup would see revenues rise from an expected $7 billion for 26, which is the 48-team World Cup edition. They expect to bring in $7 billion in revenue. The biennial World Cup would see revenues rise to $11.4 billion over a 4-year cycle. So they're not saying it would double, and that's good because that was never going to be an accurate argument. But going from 7 to 11.4 to have 2. Keep that in mind.
55%.
Yeah, that sounds realistic. I can buy into that because I think you are going to diminish the World Cup as a whole, but you're going to have 2 of them. So, okay. Yeah, I mean, people are still going to buy tickets to it. It's still going to be a big deal. Now, FIFA officials told the delegates, again, make sure Guam knows what's going on, told the delegates that $3.5 billion of the extra revenue. So the extra revenue, according to this, is $4.4 billion. You're going to take $3.5 billion of it and go towards a new member association solidarity fund, with each national federation, 200 plus, allocated around $16 million in a 4-year period, while extra funds would be given to the FIFA Forward Program for development projects. So you think you're going to get people on board by doing a 2-year World Cup as opposed to 4 and giving out of the increased profits, which most of those would go to this, although about $1 billion would go to FIFA, I guess. You're going to give him $16 million in a 4-year period?
So, yeah, an extra $4 million a year.
Like, I get that for a lot of federations, and this is why he probably does have a vote right now. That's a huge deal. For England?
No.
Germany, Spain, Italy, France?
But if you get a lot of the little guys,
well, yeah, he's got the vote.
Million, yeah,
no, he's got the vote. I'm saying, like, trying to convince people to get on board with this because he's got people on board with it. That's not the issue. Trying to convince the other side, you're not going to do it with $16 million in a 4-year period. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. UEFA's not for it. CONMEBOL's not for it. CONCACAF has kind of tried to play the middle because they have to, because not even for every. You have the U.S., you have Mexico, you have Canada, which does pretty well for itself. You also have Suriname. You also have the British Virgin Islands. You have Bermuda. You have FAs that $16 million over a 4-year period is a big frickin' deal. So CONCACAF has to kind of balance it because the U.S. and Mexico are probably standing there yelling, but they're getting yelled at by about 40 different people. And it's 2, 3 versus 40. CONCACAF's a little over 40 members. Arsene Wenger says we face opposition, but what I regret is that 90% of this opposition is emotion and not facts and not analysis. We have to get over this fear because most of the emotions that we face are based on fear. No, I'm sorry. That argument, I think, has to go at this point. I mean...
Sorry, Arsene Wenger kissed my ass.
Yeah, like, that's a dumb argument because at this point, if that's the benefit, you're going to make an extra $16 million a year. In exchange for a non-stop qualifying process for World Cups that's going to damage UEFA, CONMEBOL, CONCACAF, CAF, Asian Confederation, going to damage their internal championships at the national team level. It's not enough of a trade-off. Like, it doesn't fit. I get FIFA wanting to make more money. We all want to make more money. I understand the idea of exploring that. But it can't fit in the calendar. Other things are going to have to give, and it's not going to be FIFA's stuff that has to give. It's going to be everybody else's. But again, all the little guys, that $16 million is a big deal. Big guys could care less. It's not about fear. It is about facts and analysis, Arsene. It is. I said from the beginning, and I think I pissed people off when I said it, I'm not going to stomp my feet and just say can't do a 2-year World Cup because of history, because of what it's always been, because it's not right. Because there's nothing magical about 4 years versus 2 versus 3 in terms of it being right. It's something that was said a long time ago with the Olympics and with World Cups. Should it be less now? Could it be less? Maybe. I said I wanted to hear the information about it. I haven't heard anything to sway me that it's a good idea. And I think it creates more problems than it actually helps with. It will help smaller federations. It will help this FIFA Forward. I'm not sure if it's what Football for Hope used to be, which is something that Soccer in the Streets was got a grant from. That was a pretty good project and pretty good setup from FIFA. They could just put more money towards it. They could create the Confederations Cup idea that would then be a middle ground that would bring in more revenue. There's many other ways to do the things we're talking about doing without doing full disruption of the World Soccer calendar, which does need to be adapted. And that part needs to happen 4-year World Cups for 2s. But they have not done anything to make this sound worthwhile to me. It just, it doesn't. I don't get it.
No, and I mean, for me, I worry about the health of players, domestic calendars, integrating all of this stuff, and I understand the financial component of it, but I have more concerns about 2-year cycles, plus what you were discussing with the constant qualification cycle also. It turns it into this churn every single time out that has no stopping, And so, Jarrett, for me, that's what I'm staring at when it comes to 2-year versus 4-year. I have more concerns. Although I get the financial component, I still have more concerns than I do likes.
I'm just tired of disingenuous nonsense about it. Like, no, it's for money. Don't. Don't piss on my back and tell me it's raining. Piss off, man. Arsene Wenger can shut up. Jesus, all of them, and Arsene chief among them, because he's gotten out there, and it doesn't help that he already kind of carries himself in such a way. But when he talks about it like that, and it's nose in the air and very, very holier than thou, and well, you just don't understand. It's just emotion talking. Don't explain it like that. Kiss my ass.
Now, four card.
Very aggravated by him.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Four card. I would say that four card says FIFA forwards is a money laundering scheme. I don't know if it is a separate issue than Football for Hope was, or if it's folded into one. I don't know that for sure. I do know that when it came to Football for Hope, it was not. It was a legitimate, like, grant-based, proposal-based program, and there wasn't any money laundering with soccer in the streets. It went to the kids, and it went to programs. And it was actually a pretty good setup. I actually really liked it when they first started it. Now, it could be very different now. And I think where you do get those issues, more often than not, they come from the people on the other side of the payment. Jack Warner in Trinidad and Tobago was a huge issue with this, where he got FIFA money that should have went to the Federation and been good for the Federation, and he made it good for himself. So I wonder where the issues happen. Like he says, I know for a fact it is in Sudan and some other CAF nations. I think it's more on that side than it is on the FIFA side. But it could be a separate process entirely or whatever. But a lot of these things do come from that. But also a lot of these things do come from the idea of making sure you have votes. And you do have to look at these things with FIFA because they have a little bit of a history in this department, to the point that they've completely changed the way that World Cups are allocated and decided now after the last shenanigans, where it ended up in Russia and Qatar because of the executive committee really doing some lucrative business, allegedly, possibly, maybe not even allegedly. I think it might be accurate by now. It's not good. Yeah, it's just I don't think it would work that well. Bern says what a lot of people have said with the idea that in the long run the World Cup's not as special if it's 2 years as opposed to 4. I can buy into that to a degree. I don't think that's as much of the issue. I think the biggest issue for me keeps coming back to so many games in a short period of time and doing the damage to the, I think, also special tournaments, which give you something similar but different. European Championships was a lot of fun this time around. Copa America is always a lot of fun. The Gold Cup is always fun for all of the ridiculousness that happens in the CONCACAF Gold Cup. African, Confederate, the Nations Cup there, the Asian Cup, all these things are very interesting when they do them, and they're going to be irreparably damaged by a 2-year World Cup cycle. I don't think it works. We'll see. But him coming out and saying that he has the votes right now, he's playing the chess game. He's making it clear to the people who have power, and maybe not complete power over him, but a lot of power, that I could railroad this thing through if I want, but I'm not gonna yet. That's the game that Gianni Infantino is playing, and it's not going to work out good on either side. If now you've brought it up, and the smaller nations are going to keep pushing for these things, and they do have the votes. But you've already opened that Pandora's box now with this whole dog and pony show. So whether it happens now, it happens later, whatever, I think it's going to happen at some point because somebody's going to force it through. I hope it doesn't happen anytime soon because I don't think the game is ready for it. I don't think it makes sense, and I think it would do too much damage to the other things. The leagues would then have to adapt as well, which I don't think is something they really want to do. Of course, the clubs have a lot of that power too, so it's rough. It is a bad box, Kefsey. It's a very bad box. But I'm afraid this is not going to go away anytime soon, sadly. So, Jarrett, your continued thoughts on Arsene Wenger will be much appreciated.
Look, as long as we're after safe harbor hours, they're going to get more aggressive.
Fair enough.
And it's not just Arsene Wenger. it's not just him. He just happened to step out of the line and decided to become the target for the first spear that is volleyed. For me personally, there will be more of them.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. You should be in a good mood though, because your mighty Celtic went through this huge, long, insane, crazy drought of not winning a trophy. How long was it, Jarrett?
Day and a half.
I think it okay. Well,
because everybody kept talking about the drought's over. It's over.
Yeah,
it was like a year.
It's the concept of being unreasonably spoiled. That's what it is.
Yeah, it was a year. How many trophies did they win in the last full Neil Lennon season?
They won 3.
And they didn't win a trophy for a year.
They had a treble. They won the treble 3 years in a row.
So they won the treble 3 years in a row. They have 1 year where they don't lift a trophy, and then the drought's over. They've won the fried Mars bar cup.
The national emergency is over.
Good grief.
Yeah. We can all go back into our homes. I'm glad you understand. Thank you for understanding the thing.
Yeah, I really wanted to understand that.
Well, you know what, Jason? The one thing you can understand that I hope we can agree on is that Kyogo is an absolute blessing upon the planet.
Yeah, when he's standing up, it's good. He does like to fall down a lot.
He does.
A lot.
Hey,
I'm
much. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I hearing that in the city of Atlanta? God damn.
Yeah, because it's very different. Because he just falls down. I'm saying that, and I was also shocked by the national commentary that they had on the game. It was on Paramount Plus yesterday. The deep fried Mars bar cup, also known as the League Cup, essentially. I'm sure there's a sponsor name to it.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you know what's honestly more fun than this is the fact that Hibbs got here by absolutely tying Rangers to a railroad track and walking away. Martin Boyle had a first half hat trick against Rangers. That's the reason Rangers wasn't in this final.
Yeah, that's fun. That's cool. That's cool. I know. I'm happy for that. I mean, that's always fun. But they were the commentary. They were freaking out about Kyogo playing. Because he scores goals and stuff, and I guess that's a frightening concept.
He's coming back from an injury, and to my knowledge, he came back a bit earlier than they expected, so they weren't sure, how much does he have in the tank? That sort of thing.
It sounded a little different than that, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll give you the benefit
That was
of the doubt.
my read of it.
I'm not giving the commentary the benefit of the doubt.
I don't give a damn what they say. That was my read of it.
All right, fair enough.
If Chris Sutton's got different opinions, that's...
Wow. He's got knocked off the show, Jarrett. Are you okay over there?
Yeah, I just got angry.
That's okay. It's all right.
The angrier he gets, the
quality just deteriorates.
No.
He overmodulates when he gets angry.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, just, what? Chris Sutton can...
settle down, Jarrett.
Can take a hike.
Settle down there. You're going to get in trouble again. I wanted to see how many games our friend Kyogo has played in here lately. So he had missed. He played in the Real Betis game, and he'd been out for that. So 10 days. He'd been out for 10 days. Okay. So I can buy your argument.
They went into this game. One of the reasons he was so vital is they didn't have a functioning striker when they played. What game was it last week? They played a game last week where they played Lilabada, who's a right winger, basically as a number 9. I thought they were going to end up playing with a false 9 because they didn't have a striker. All their strikers were hurt, and they picked up 3 more injuries in that cup final.
Yeah, well, when you're playing games every 3 days, these things will happen, Jarrett. This is
Imagine that.
What we're learning in the Betfred League Cup, also known as the Deep Fried Mars Bar Cup, which has one of the most ridiculous formats in the world. I just so people know what this thing was. You play a group stage in the League Cup because you don't play enough games in Scotland already. And this is the League Cup, not the FA Cup equivalent.
Right.
So you play 4 games in a group stage. Well, not everybody plays 4 games in the group stage. How do the teams not play 4 games in the group stage, Jarrett?
believe by being higher up in the universe.
In the pyramid?
Yeah.
Like from the previous season, I guess?
It's like a caste system, yes.
Okay. Because, yeah, I mean, like Aberdeen didn't, Rangers, Celtic didn't, some others didn't, but some...
Kelty Hearts had to, but, nobody wants to play Kelty Hearts right now because they're beating the dog out of everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I think some Premiership teams didn't have to play in the group stage, and they came into the round 2 of it, and then there's a quarterfinal, and then a semifinal, and then a final. Madness. And this is the 3rd trophy in Scotland. And now Celtic's long national drought is over.
We can all breathe again.
Kyogo's wonderful. I told you before the season I did not expect the trophy. Not because, for no other reason than I thought Postecoglou, not unlike Stephen Glass, would need more than one window to kind of filter that roster to where it could play the way he wants it to. But he made it work, and in a game that had let's talk about the not called penalty at the end, because Jesus Christ, Carl Starfelt left.
Yeah, hold on. Did they have VAR in this thing? Is the VAR deep frying the Mars bars? Okay, they don't have VAR for anything. All right,
it's
good.
It's a very hot topic in Scotland. A lot of people
only imagine.
It's got a very baseball mentality. They like the old timers of everybody the old way, like we did in the 1890s when I had tuberculosis and played 75 minutes.
I feel like for that kind of a scenario, Jarrett, you need this background music. We didn't have VAR back in my day. I can't do it with a Scottish accent.
We played uphill both ways in my day when we tried to play for all of these cups.
I'm not drunk enough to do it, but we'll give it a shot. I didn't try it my day. We went back and we played 75 minutes without anybody to come in and stop for it. If your leg fell off, someone just tapped it back on. It's fine, no big deal then.
Please tell me you were doing that on the floor at Home Depot.
No. I'm in my car.
Oh, man, that would have been awesome. Somebody just walks by like, what in the blue hell is this tall guy doing?
Because then Jarrett would have been doing the arm motions, too, inside the Home Depot.
Yeah.
People would have been wondering what was going on.
Oh, yeah. Or as if you go on Scottish football subreddit, which is one of, I think Jason can attest, it's one of the best subreddits for absolute, shithousery.
Yes, highly recommended.
It's wonderful. It's everybody's complaining about, somebody's dad is really pissed off whenever Celtic or Rangers lose.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got a very Alabama-Auburn vibe, except much more dominant of their conference / country, whatever. But,
I think it's that one, and I think it's Scottish banter on Instagram that are definitely
Scottish
worth your
banter
time.
on Instagram is Scottish banter on Instagram. I'm amazed it did not get banned after the England draw. You've never seen a country like there's the old documentary of Yale beats Harvard 7-7 or something like that.
Yes.
That was basically Scotland beats England 0-0.
Yes.
You'd have thought Scotland had won the World Cup. It was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Also, a train full of people coming down from Scotland drinking Buckfast tonic wine, which is a tonic wine that's 14% alcohol and has as much caffeine as a large Red Bull.
That's not good.
And they're just nursing that on the train the whole way down and then being set loose among the masses.
Scottish Four Loko is a scary thing, Jarrett. Dangerous Scottish Four Loko. Burned is throwing some gasoline onto the Scottish fire. Scotland is already mentally preparing for missing the World Cup in the UEFA playoffs in March.
Wow, that's rude.
Seriously, wow. Byrne just came in off the top rope.
I am enjoying the long national nightmare of Celtic winning a cup ending. And then just kidding.
Yeah, because it was so long, months even, that you didn't have a trophy to add to the case. Months.
I give you this, but it honestly makes me sound worse, so I'm not going to do it. Although, remind me, or somebody in the Discord remind me, and I'll tell the time. Last time I was at a friend's wedding reception, and we all got inebriated, and not unlike my own wedding, where we rented a house and just had people show up, had the wedding in the backyard, and everyone stayed in the house and stayed safe, so they could drink. We did this was the same kind of thing, and after enough sour ales, I proceeded to narrate a ping pong game in a Scottish accent, and I don't remember much of it other than the videos I was shown.
It seems to be a thing where when you have a certain amount of alcohol, and maybe it's the type of alcohol that leads you to narrate things in voices. I did that when I was in college. I wasn't narrating a ping pong match. I was basically making up a brand new South Park episode, and I was Cartman.
Nice.
And I think I went on for like a half hour, and there's a lot of beer. It was the Beast, so anything can happen when you drink that much of the Beast.
The night of my wedding, and one of my best friends will swear to this. After the wedding, which Jason DJ'd my wedding, so he was witness to a lot of the normal things. He missed a lot of the tomfoolery.
I got out of there before things got completely out of hand. Yeah, I was like, I'm out.
I confused a friend of mine because I'm like pretty mild mannered when I'm watching a sporting event. At least these days I am. And I proceeded
Except
to
LSU.
have like. Yeah. Siri, play neck. I'm sorry, Colin Baton Rouge came on the other day, and I about flipped the table over. But I proceeded to sit on the couch and yell things at Isaiah Thomas that I'd never thought to ever say about a human being because the Hawks were playing the Celtics in playoffs.
That'll do it.
That would definitely do it. I'm just going to leave it alone. I could go.
I'm sorry, I was waiting for more feedback to that.
I could have kept going into many different places, and I'm like, I probably shouldn't.
Jason was processing his reply. He was like, he was going down the list and going, no.
Yeah. No. I decided to just let that go. Yes, if you pay me, I will DJ your wedding when you have one.
Man.
Yes, I will do that as long as it's not on the day of an Atlanta United game and I can do it.
True.
All those things, yes. You'll have to fulfill
I got married on the day of the Georgia spring game. Anything is possible.
It's the Georgia spring game. It's a spring game. I've been to a G-Day game before. I don't need to go every year. It's not that big of a deal.
I had people tell me, like, I don't know if I can make it the spring games that day.
It's a frickin' spring game. Come on now. It's a glorified scrimmage of nonsense.
Yeah.
Yay. It's dumb. So, yes, Will, you also have to fulfill my contract rider, and I don't have anything ridiculous like no brown M&Ms, but, you got to make sure you follow the contract. So we'll see what we can come up with, Will. When you get married, we'll see if we can figure that out.
What is the most ridiculous thing in your contract rider?
I'm not sharing that with you right now. First, I have to have a contract rider. But anyway, I also have to start DJing again because I haven't DJ'd in, 5 years. Over 5 years.
It wasn't the wedding. It was the black tie, soccer game. It was I had to go get like an IPA, like a specific IPA for your request.
No, it wasn't IPA. I don't drink IPA. It was that was at Park Tavern. I think it was their amber beer, if I remember right, because I really like it. It was one of their specific beers. It was not an IPA. I've never liked IPAs. That's blasphemy, Jared Smith. 200 guns. Yes, 4-card, absolutely. All the Red Bull, yes, Kefsey, all of it. We're getting some reports here, and this has been said by multiple people, so I guess it doesn't get the news. I can get this, though. We got a new air horn. Jaime Lozano, next manager of the Houston Dynamo, Mexican national team legend, very little club experience. Took Mexico to the bronze at the last Olympics. But Jaime Lozano, next Houston Dynamo manager, and The Athletic has had this. TUDN has had this as well. So Houston might get off of that list, and that would leave LAFC on that list. They're the last ones on the list. Is that right?
I think they are the only ones.
Everybody else has hired their managers. So, I don't know about Lozano, though. I'm not 100% sure that is a good thing. Katie, I have not DJ'd these things at breweries in a long time. And I was busy talking at the last event at a brewery that I was at, talking all the time to where I had a sore throat the next day, but it was a lot of fun. I have not DJ'd in a long, long time. So, and my DJing's all over the map when I was DJing. Because the last place I DJ'd at was Diesel in the Virginia Highlands neighborhood. And it was like jukebox DJing, except I'd take it in to like make the playlist flow instead of just people playing random songs. So it would go all over the map. It'd be punk rock, it'd be 80s, it'd be Motown, it'd be hip-hop. Who knew what was going to happen? That's my style. So, yes, maybe next time, Katie. Maybe. When I'm not talking to everybody and making my throat sore. Will doesn't really want Pirlo to go to LAFC, but he really likes Pirlo. Will, what are you drinking again tonight? Because I think this is maybe somehow related to it. Although Pirlo to LAFC still does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I think their last rumors we've heard about LAFC is Independiente del Valle's manager, Paiva, who has a trophy but has really 1 year at the senior level under his belt. So that would be a bit of a risky move. He's on the Blue Moon. Okay. Yeah, Blue Moon's fine. That's fine. That feels a little more refined where he'd be going to Pirlo. If he was drinking the pineapple natter days, there's no telling who Will would be demanding to be the manager of LAFC. Yes, this happened a few weeks ago, Jared. I think you missed the show where
what?
Will was drinking pineapple natter days, and he was out of hand more so than usual. Will over in Huntsville.
Oh,
you know Will. Always in all caps, Will.
Yes,
yes,
all
but
caps
I didn't
Will.
know if we were talking. I missed the person name drop in the first place. So I wanted to make sure I didn't slander a player or a person we know.
4 Blue Moons and 2 green chili enchiladas.
That's a good start.
Start? Sure. Whatever.
For Will, I'm
Bell
sure it's a
Street
start.
Just be a happier person. How about that?
Good grief. Bernd is trying to get the banter going. He says, I'm just trying to start the slow build-up. The inevitable elimination game, Austria versus Scotland in Vienna. Winner goes to the World Cup, which will also be known as the Battle of 10,000 Drunk Scotsmen against 20,000 Viennese riot police.
Not wrong.
No.
Yeah, not wrong at all.
No.
They're going to find a square in Vienna, and they're going to make it their own. They're going to claim eminent domain for about 4 hours before the game.
But the plant
Just
the
let
flag
them be.
right there.
And if they can get a train from Scotland to Austria, oh Jesus! If it can go through the English Channel, like under the channel, and then like across the land, you might have to get a broom and sweep the Scots out of that train.
Just secure the perimeter. Let them be. Don't look them in the eye. Don't engage.
They weren't nearly as poorly behaved in
no, absolutely
in Trafalgar Square as I think people expected.
The biggest difference, and that's where they might have been poorly behaved, but they actually really weren't. I think outside of some men in kilts and bare asses in fountains, if I remember correctly.
Yikes.
And maybe things in the fountains also being poured in there as well. But anyway.
And you got to go.
Sure. The Scots are not the ones who are going to be really starting a lot of fights. I think the riot police will have a pretty easy time. But just secure the perimeter. Let them drink it out of their system. It's called the Channel. It goes under the channel, Jarrett. So, yes, they could take a train to Austria, I guess.
That's fine. And if you watched Go 90 that did that documentary about Scotland at the Euros? What was it? Who did that?
Yes, let's Go 90. Yeah.
If you watch that, if Scotland gets eliminated by Austria, they're not going to break anything. They're kind of, I think they're kind of have that in the back of their heads, especially the older fans have that waiting for the shoe to drop fear that still exists. Now, the younger fans might not because they have been blessed by a lot of excitement over the last few years, but we shall see.
Yeah, some excitement. Well, let's be a little realistic there. Not a whole lot of excitement, Jared.
The shootout with Israel was insane. I forget who was calling it for ESPN, but he was Scottish.
It was
Scottish.
Donaldson. Yeah, it was Donaldson.
Yeah. And he was just screaming like, I'm on national. I don't have to care if I'm biased or not, so I'm going to be biased.
Yeah, it was great.
Scotland.
Yeah, it was a great call from Mark.
That was awesome.
Bern, I'm absolutely here for any of the banter building up to it. My only caveat to that would be Scotland actually has to win their first game.
Well, so does Austria. They got to go to Cardiff and beat Wales.
Yeah, that's fair. Scotland playing Wales in Cardiff would be.
Oh man!
Sorry, Bernd. I want that to happen. I would like that to happen. Other things going on this evening. It is Kylian Mbappe's 23rd birthday. And there's a picture on it is the Argentine Sports Center account, which is definitely worth a follow. It's SC_ESPN, but it's the Argentine Sports Center. The cake might be taller than Mbappe. This thing is absurd, and it's got like Roman candles around it. It looks like it. Thing's insane. If you didn't see, I think sometime last week, Mbappe posted a picture on his Instagram in a white sweater, and the Real Madrid fans went nuts. They thought he was sending signs. Yeah. They were white. You know, that's where we're at with all of this. El Chiringuito is going to be bonkers for the next month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
He wore a white sweater. He's coming to Real Madrid.
Tic-tac.
He's got something. There's like, I don't know what else in this cake. This thing is insanity. He's standing too close to it. He's standing like Joseph standing next to the flamethrowers at Bobby Dodd. So he might need to be careful because the cake might light him on fire.
I'd love to send a bunch of SEC fans to watch El Chiringuito to learn what it really means to jump to conclusions.
No, just do. I need this to happen. If anybody out there, I know his old producer actually is a pretty big soccer fan. Paul Feinbaum. Somebody needs to show Feinbaum El Chiringuito and show him what he can do if he really wants to take it there.
Oh, man.
Because he could do that show. He could be Joseph. He could play that role, almost that exact role, because he basically does. He just need an army of ridiculous people around him to play out the rest of it.
Oh, yeah. You bring in Daryl from Columbus and Tammy. And
Tammy passed away, didn't she?
That's true. So you bring in...
Going, but...
Well, I mean, you bring in I-Man and Daryl and a couple of others and just have them sitting there doing... that would be tremendous television.
Yeah.
Then you probably have to have Greg McElroy sitting in... as a pseudo voice of reason.
You need the people like that. Like, it's one thing to have the fans do it, which is not what El Chiringuito does. They have journalists acting like not journalists, really, is what they do.
Yeah.
They have journalists being petty.
Yeah,
yes.
Very.
You know, John, you know who would be perfect for this in a different world? God rest his soul, is Cecil Hurt.
Oh, that would have been
Holy
tremendous.
God,
yeah.
Cecil Hurt would have torn that show apart.
That would have been great.
That would have worked. That would have worked really well.
Only other guy I can see hosting something like that is Scott Van Pelt because he doesn't take it serious. He takes it into the right direction of not being too serious.
Yeah, he absolutely could. Okay, a couple of things.
Yes, please send Paul Feinbaum to do the next game at next River Boca game. Don't give him any
not
warning.
Ready for that.
Don't give him any prep.
No.
Just have him show up and talk about the game.
He's not ready for that. I mean, Feinbaum's a pretty smart guy. He knows what he's doing, but he's not ready for that.
Mm-mm.
He's not ready for that one.
The fans aren't ready for that.
No, they couldn't handle it either. We've talked about Salernitana a couple times on the show. If you are looking for action on Tuesday's Serie A match involving Salernitana, you might not want to because they will not be able to play on Tuesday. Things are handled a little bit differently in Italy, and now we're starting to see the COVID cases in other places. The squad has been banned from traveling because of COVID cases.
Wow, okay.
This happened before with Napoli, and remember Juventus went through their stupid, ridiculous sham of like announcing the starting lineups and actually coming out onto the field and all that nonsense. So Salernitana has been banned from traveling. They had been ordered not to travel with a regular airline on Monday after one positive COVID test within the group of players. More tests were ordered, planned to travel with a private plane on Tuesday morning. However, it seems that more of these have come back positive, along with members of staff. The local health authority in Salerno has ordered the entire matchday group into lockdown. So they can't travel, train, or play for the next few days. They confirmed this in a statement late Monday night. The local health authority overrules the league COVID protocol, so the game can't get played. This is the third game in Italy to be postponed. 2 second division fixtures were called off due to COVID outbreaks. I know there were a couple of women's Bundesliga games that were called off because of COVID outbreaks. I think those are the only ones that I've seen in the major top 5 countries in Europe and leagues outside of England with everything they dealt with over the weekend. So it's coming, and we'll see where it goes. Milan was not robbed 4-card. That's why Nick's not here. He didn't want to face the music. Napoli got the win. They went to the San Siro and got the win. Ha, ha, ha! Nick's also busy. He should hopefully be joining us in 30 minutes, so I'll laugh at him then.
Yes.
Jarrett, you've got...
They were called the Devils?
Yeah. There's weird things going on with all of that, and there might be some biases in tweets that are being issued because of different people and all that. So, yes, Napoli has been looked down upon many, many, many times, and they probably were called the Devils, and they got the win anyway. All right, picks of the week, because Jarrett has to go early, and Nick will have to get caught up when he arrives. They're going to tag in and out.
There you go.
Are you ready for this, Jarrett?
No, but we're doing it anyway.
They were not robbed 4-card. Stop your whining. Napoli. Napoli.
See, now 4-card is taking Will's approach and trying to do it in all caps.
4-card. If you've been drinking pineapple natter days, it's very possible. All right. Let's get into the picks of the week. Tuesday. Copa del Rey. Malaga went to Rayo Majadahonda. Nobody believed in my new favorite club, Rayo Majadahonda, except for me. I got it right at plus 260. Yes, John, you did not believe in them. You picked a draw, which shocked everybody. Wednesday,
didn't it?
Paranaense hosted Atletico Mineiro in the second leg of the Copa do Brasil final. Atletico Mineiro came in with a 4-0 lead. They won this game too. John and Jarrett got it correct. So at the end of Wednesday, I was at 260. John was at 110. Jarrett was at 110. Nick and the Twitch pitch were at minus 200. Thursday was supposed to be Leicester hosting Tottenham. It was not.
Until
that didn't happen. Nobody won. Nobody lost. Friday, Woleta Dicha versus St. George. What country was this in again? Ethiopia? Where was this? Where was this game?
Is this Kenya?
I think it was Ethiopia. John, you're not helping me. I need backup, and you're not there for me. Anyway, St. George won. I picked a draw because I didn't know anything about either one of these two teams and how they would do. We did know a lot about their histories, though. And St. George had the better history. They got the win. Everybody got it right except for me. So John and Jarrett were at 373. I was at 160. Nick and the Twitch pitch were at 63 with the win.
Ethiopian Premier League, yes.
Exactly. Like I said. Saturday, Cremonese hosting Ascoli. Serie B. Nobody picked Ascoli. That was correct. John and the Twitch pitch picked a draw. Again, nobody was surprised, but they were both wrong. Nick and Jarrett and myself got it right. So that meant going into Sunday, Jarrett was in the lead with 643. I was next with 430. Nick was on 333. John was on 273. The Twitch pitch was negative, minus 37. The prop bet was done before we got to Sunday. It actually almost came into play. Hold on. I got excited. Let's do it again.
8, 2, 3, 4.
The prop bet was the number of cards in this round of the Copa del Rey. I realized after a couple of games that I shouldn't have picked this prop bet. There was a lot to add up. One, cards in Spain are out of hand. Two, there were a lot of games that went to extra time. Nobody got the number, really even that close to the number.
Oh, wow.
Nobody went over it. It was 118 cards in that round. It took a while, Bernd. It took a long while. But it was 118. I was the closest. I had 107.
Nice.
So I got the extra bonus 100. 118. There were a couple games with like 1 or 2 cards, and then there were some with like 11.
Yeah.
So it's like, holy crap. Bunch of cards for bench personnel, too. A bunch. You went over, Bernd. You were the only one who went over. All right, so it came down to Sunday. That put me to 530, but it didn't give me the tie break. So it was Metro FC against Contra Costa in the U.S. Open Cup qualifiers. There was no live stream of the game. You couldn't watch it if you wanted to. You had Twitter updates, which I was checking. Because if Metro won, I would have won the week. If Contra Costa won, Jarrett would have won the week. Metro scored first with Matt Fondy, former pro. I was excited. I was looking for T-shirts to buy. As John walks away, because he doesn't want to hear it anymore, because he didn't win. Contra Costa equalized, and it finished as a draw. It went to extra time. There was no winner there. It went to penalties. And Contra Costa went through on penalties, I think like 8-7. So Jarrett Smith, because of the draw that nobody got, you backed into a win this week in the picks of the week. What do you have to say for yourself?
Win, baby. Don't matter how it's done. Ugly dub is still a dub.
It was ugly, too. It was a little ugly. You got, this is what you won on the back of Atletico Mineiro.
Points. Well,
You won on the back of St. George, and you won on the back of Cremonese. But the one that probably really did it... No, there wasn't like a big one that you hit, because it was really close. I mean, it ended at 4:30 for me and 5:43 for you, because we all got Sunday wrong, because nobody picked it to go to penalties and extra time and all that. So it was very close. But congratulations, Jarrett Smith. You still backed into it.
whatever.
You did. You did.
I mean, look,
okay.
We all probably should have seen penalties coming with the U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah, there were a decent number of penalties in these games. There were.
I mean, especially, we had the warning shot in Spain where a fourth division team almost won, I think was at the, whatever, I forget what tournament it was in Spain.
Copa del Rey.
Copa del Rey.
Yeah, the Copa del Rey. I was about to say, I think it's a Copa del Rey, but I don't want to be stabbed.
Got to be careful with that.
I don't want to be like Aaron Sorkin arguing that Cuban and Spaniard's the same thing, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not going to win you many arguments there, buddy.
You know what, though? Hey, even if you back into it, that's big. For me, this is different, though, because I want a picks of the week in a week where I didn't just absolutely blow everyone out and set a new points record. It was close, and it was exciting. And I think that's really all we can ever ask for is excitement and enjoyment for everybody, and then watching the Twitch pitch trip and fall at the finish line.
Yeah, something like that. That's what it sounds like. Bernd,
Nick is still broken beyond all belief ever since he had surgery.
Well, I mean, he finished at 233. That's not bad. Again, there was only one entity that finished in negatives. Only one. That was the Twitch pitch. All 712 of you couldn't combine your brain powers to finish above. You know, you lost people money. You should feel bad. Sorry. Just it's true. You have 2.5 wins, Twitch pitch, in the, I think, 8-9 weeks, something like that you've been participating. Is that official, or are you just making that up?
That was me trying to plot backwards.
Okay, then maybe John's plotting gets you to 9. Jarrett, you have 5.5 wins. That's still last out of the people who've been playing from the beginning. Sorry.
I'm slowly climbing the charts, and to be fair
enough. Yeah.
John got some of his from the Twitch pitch.
That's true. His 6.5 might need to be shared. We might need to go back. It's like one of those weird, random, like stupid magazine polls from the 1920s that some colleges will try to claim as a national championship.
Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, when it's like Good Housekeeping did their poll and had 3 people vote in it. Yeah. I think some of John's 6.5 might need to be reallocated. Just saying. But you got 6.5, so John, you're 1 ahead of Jarrett. Nick's on 8.5, and I am on 15. I was not able to add number 16 in this one. I'm very upset. Metro FC, I thought you had it. I was on the edge of my seat, Katie Weaver, when I was watching Twitter to get updates. And yes, I might need therapy if I'm checking Twitter for the scores of a soccer match, Sean Vergara, but we all have known that for a long time.
We all do that. We all do it for various things.
I mean, hey, the cup.us. That's where you need to
That's who I was checking. That's exactly who I was checking. So, we got to get into this week's picks of the week. And, Jarrett, you get 2 days. You don't get... Let's see. Do we want to give the Twitch pitch Sunday? I mean, this is going to be a crapshoot because you're also trying to pick games that are not going to be postponed. Mm-hmm. So, this does get a little weird. Twitch pitch, do you want Sunday? I mean, you're going to have England and other various places to pick from. I'm not going to give you Saturday because I don't even know what we're going to pick on Saturday yet. I'm terrified to even look. I think you should probably take Sunday Twitch pitch. I'm going to go ahead and say that. We'll give you that. And we got to come up with maybe it's Friday. Friday will just have to be, we have to settle on, or Saturday, sorry. We'll just have to settle on something for Saturday. That'll be the consensus
goes to Saturday.
Because there won't be anything good to pick from.
All right. Okay.
Sean Vergara has nailed our prop bet of the week. The number of games postponed.
Nice.
The number of games postponed in the top 4 divisions in England. Let's keep it very specific there. So, okay. So that will be the prop bet when we get to that point. All right. Jarrett, you got a veto as well, as you know. So, Tuesday, we got Sevilla hosting Barcelona. We've got Juventus hosting Cagliari. We have the Primera Nacional promotion playoff in Argentina, which I will be watching tomorrow at 6:10. Barraca Central and Quilmes.
I'll take that one.
You're taking that one?
Yep.
All right, I'm in.
I'll allow it.
I'm in. On TIC tomorrow, because, man, the Argentine playoff games, you get some interesting venues, you get some crazy shenanigans, and you get some drama, too. And the announcing is awesome as well. I'm a big fan. Mm-hmm. So, Barraca Central, it's a 1-game playoff. This is for the other promotion spot to the first division next year, where they will have 28 teams next season. Yes. Well, I mean, MLS has 28, about to be 29 here shortly, so, I guess we really can't say too much. Let's see. Do we have odds on this game?
Yeah,
we do
yes,
right
we
now.
do.
I got it. Yours are for information purposes only. These are official. Barraca Central is a plus 138. The draw plus 190. That would take you to extra time and or straight to penalties. I'm not sure. And Quilmes is a plus 180. In our educational portion of the show, because that's what we do, we've talked about Barraca Central before. They are the club that was founded by a truck driver, and they beat the Admirals team, Almirante Brown, to get to this point.
Brown.
Quilmes is from the Quilmes district of Buenos Aires. So it is not specifically because of the beer. It's from a neighborhood that's called Quilmes. I think the neighborhood might have something to do with the beer, though, possibly, because I think the beer started there. And it's pretty good beer. I kind of like it. Quilmes started in 1887. One of the oldest clubs in Argentina. They might be the oldest ongoing club, if I'm not mistaken. So when they started, they did not even have a football team. When Quilmes started, they were the Quilmes and Polo Club, founded in 1980 by British immigrants. 87, they changed their name to the Quilmes Rovers Athletic Club. They joined the second version of the Argentine League in 1893. Then they founded the Quilmes Cricket Club. Then it became the Quilmes Athletic Club. They were the part of the Quilmes Lawn Tennis Club at one point. They've done all kinds of things. They did not allow non-British members early on because they were part of the British community that worked at the Buenos Aires Great Southern Railway. And the main sport they played was cricket. Then football became the thing. And they in 1901, they adopted England's national team colors, white shirt with blue collar and shorts. Then they started to actually add Argentines. And there you go. So Quilmes is the only one that is still active from that era, it looks like. One of the oldest clubs ever. They are the underdog here. Recent matches between them. They didn't play head-to-head this past season because they were in separate groups. Quilmes beat Ferro to get here 1-0. They drew the first leg with Ferro, so they won 2-1 on aggregate. They did have to go through penalties to get by Deportivo Morón, which has one of the greatest crests in world soccer because it's a giant rooster.
Mm-hmm.
They got through them in penalties.
It's not Deportivo Moron, people.
It's Morón. But, they have a giant rooster. Barraca Central won 3-2 on aggregate over Almirante Brown. They lost to Tigre in the first playoff final because they were the other group winner. Tigre and Barraca Central won the groups, the two groups that were part of the second division. It's Argentine League. Just shake your head like you understand what's going on. They played in a final. Barraca Central lost. So that bumped them into the semifinal of the consolation tournament for the other spot that gets promoted. They beat Almirante Brown. They got here. They had won 3 in a row before losing to Tigre, and they lost to Tigre 1-0. So, John, you are the lowest placed person that is picking right now. Who are you picking?
Barraca Central.
You learned your lesson last time, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I am also picking Barraca Central. Jarrett.
I am picking Barraca Central.
All right, fair enough.
To fall.
Whoa, that's nonsense, Jarrett. You're picking the wannabe English? Is that what you're doing?
Scared money don't make money.
You're picking the wannabe English.
If it antagonizes the real English, yes.
It might at this stage. It might come back around to where it does that.
But considering the way that the Argentine English-Scottish relationship works, yes.
Yeah, that's true. That would be true to character.
Remember, Maradona didn't care if he was hated in England because he was loved in Scotland.
That is very accurate. All right, Wednesday. So that was John's pick, Barraca Central and Quilmes. Wednesday, we've got 2 games in La Liga. Atleti at Granada. Athletic Club Bilbao hosting Real Madrid, and they have COVID issues, so that game could be a really weird one to pick. We got a full Serie A calendar. Napoli hosting Spezia. Roma hosting Sampdoria. Venezia hosting Lazio. And Ciro Immobile is out right now, so that could get really interesting as well. Sassuolo hosting Bologna. We have Scotland with Hibs hosting Aberdeen. We have St. Mirren hosting Celtic.
Let's do it.
Okay. We also have the second leg of the Colombian final as well, which is another one I'll be watching because I am a degenerate. Tolima hosting Deportivo Cali. You want Hibs and Aberdeen?
I want cabbage.
All right. It's an interesting game to pick. Mm-hmm. The odds are very even here. So Hibs hosting Aberdeen. Aberdeen didn't play over the weekend, correct?
Correct.
They did not.
And Hibs lost in the deep-fried Mars Bar Cup final. Possibly got robbed because of what should have been a penalty at the very end.
For some reason, Kevin Nisbet decided not to run at Carl Starfeld. I'm still upset. Hibs played scared for 45 minutes. Look where it got them.
Starfelt shoved somebody at the very end too, and should have given
Yes, he did.
given up a red card and a penalty, and all of the above. He probably should have been like tarred and feathered while he was at it. Hibs plus 155. Draw plus 220. The Dons plus 180. Very intriguing matchup. I am second.
Do we know where this game's being? Is it played at Pataudry or is it?
No, it's at Hibs.
It's at Cabbage.
Okay. Yeah.
It is at the Cabbage Patch or something or other. I am going to go with a draw here. On the road for the Dons, I don't think they've had any issues. I don't think Hibs was missing anybody either. But I think on the road it's going to be a little tricky. I'll go draw. Jarrett?
I'm taking a draw as well. I think Aberdeen plays well, and Hibs are on short rest. But I think there's goals in this draw.
Could be. I could see Hibs kind of sitting back and doing their turtle impression like they've been known to do from time to time.
Never count out a good Hibsing.
Yeah.
Which is what you may know as falconing on this side of the Atlantic. They're in a good position. Oh, no, never mind. Never mind, they're not. If there's a Scottish team you can count on to let you down, and why you should never bet on them, it's Hibs.
John, who you picking?
Draw.
Okay. Thursday. We all picked it, so I can't be too upset, but we'll see if the Twitch pitch and Nick create some interesting action on that one. All right, Thursday. This is where things are going to get a little weird. It starts to get weird on Thursday. Friday's going to be weird, and Saturday might be the weirdest. You thought last week was strange? Ooh, buddy. So Thursday, here's our options. We have in the Dutch First Division, PSV hosting the Go Ahead Eagles. We have the Dutch First Division is not that bad, John. Jeez.
No, but at a plus 1,800 for the Go Ahead Eagles.
Yeah, well, it's the frickin' Go Ahead Eagles. Come on. Sparta Rotterdam is hosting RKC. Okay. We got Turkey. We got Besiktas hosting Göztepe. We would have had the A-League in Australia, but the game's already been canceled. We have the Indian Super League, Hyderabad hosting East Bengal. We have the AFF Suzuki Cup final rounds. It's national teams. It's Vietnam hosting Thailand.
Yep, let's do it.
Jarrett Smith.
Wow.
The AFF Suzuki Cup final round semifinals. Vietnam hosting Thailand. That's what you want to go with.
That's going to be my last one because I'm also jumping off in bed. So.
All right. Well, get your action in while you can.
End on a weird note.
We have information purposes only numbers.
Yeah, we'll get those in 1 second. So this is a 2-leg situation. This is the first leg, and Vietnam is hosting it against Thailand. After you give us the for information purposes, these are not the official numbers. Those are always SofaScore based. If SofaScore doesn't come up with numbers after the game, then it is a plus 100 to the winner. What are the for information purposes only numbers on Vietnam and Thailand? And then I'll give you a mission.
Vietnam is plus 177.
Okay.
Draw is a plus 200.
Mm-hmm.
Thailand is a plus 150.
Very even. I need you to get me the FIFA rankings of these two teams, John. We need the FIFA rankings. So the last time these two teams played was in World Cup qualifiers in 2019. I guess the first round of World Cup qualifiers for 22 before COVID. And they were both scoreless draws. They played earlier in 2019 in the King's Cup, and Vietnam won 1-0 at Thailand. Vietnam, not so good in World Cup qualifying in September and October and November. They lost all 6 games. But since playing teams maybe at their level, they're unbeaten. They won at Laos 2-0. They beat Malaysia 3-0. They drew at Indonesia scoreless, and they beat Cambodia 4-0. Thailand did not get to this round of World Cup qualifying. They lost the last time out, and they did not look so good in doing it. But, again, since they've played teams more at their level, they are 4-0. They went to East Timor and won 2-0. They beat Myanmar 4-0 at home. They went to the Philippines and won 2-1. And they hosted Singapore and won 2-0. So what are their FIFA rankings, John.
Vietnam is 99.
Oh.
Thailand is 118.
Okay, so very, very even. Jarrett, you're up. Which one are you picking?
Can I give you mine?
Yeah, you're good.
Give me Thailand, and I'm walking out the door.
Jarrett is picking Thailand on the road to get a win in the first leg. Congratulations on your win, Jarrett. You won't win back-to-back.
No, that's probably not going to happen. It's okay.
Okay.
That's why I enjoy each win.
Have a good rest of
It's
the
like
evening.
Warren Zevon said, enjoy every sandwich, enjoy every win.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Are you joining us in the morning?
Possibly, we'll see.
See, that's how it is. He just shows up.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm sure. You'll let me know like by saying hi on the show.
Basically.
That's how it goes. Basically. All right. Good night.
Yeah. See ya.
Ah.
Yeah. John, what are you picking?
Draw.
Why am I not surprised? I am taking Vietnam at home to win the first leg. Yes, I am going to stick with that. Okay, this is where it gets really difficult. I have a pick, and then Saturday we have the consensus pick. So I have to pick on Friday. This is what I get to choose from. Turkey, the second division, I believe, and we've already been to the second division in Turkey, and it's very degenerate. Mm-hmm. We have the Indian Super League. FC Goa is on the road at Odisha Football Club. We have Ligue 1 in Algeria, which I don't think it's the first division, but it could be. I don't think it is. We have the Egyptian Premier League. We have Liga 1 in Indonesia. We have the Persian Gulf Pro League in Iran. We have the National League in Israel. We have Botola Pro in Morocco. I don't know if that's the first division. I'm thinking it's not. We have the Stars League in Qatar. We have an Albanian league that I don't know what level it is. We have the Premier League in the Republic of Congo. We haven't been there before. We have the Premier League in Ethiopia, where we were last time. We have the Delhi Senior Division in India. I have no idea even what level that is.
No. I have information numbers for the Super League in India. I do not go there.
We have the Nepal A Division League. We've been there before.
Yes, we have.
Okay, now they just have one game repeated, I was about to say. Oh, wait a minute. We might have to go back to Nepal. We have the West Bank League in Palestine. We have the Tanzania Premier League. We have the United Arab Emirates Division 1. I'm not gonna pick one yet here, really quick. But the A Division League in Nepal. Remember, we had the Army Club against the Police Club.
Yes.
Well, there's two police clubs because there is the Nepal Police Club and then there is the Nepal Armed Police Force.
Yes. See, I think one's a force and one's a club. I think that's why it's different.
One's armed and one's not.
Yes.
That's the bigger thing here.
That is true.
One tells you they're armed.
And they're going up against the armed police force is going up against the new road team.
The new road team.
Not to be confused with an old road team.
The new road team, which has NRT in their crest. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Well, the Nepal Police Club are playing the Friends Club.
Friends Club.
The Friends Club. Joe does not want to work for the unarmed police. If I get to pick which team I'm playing for, I'm probably going to play for
ambassadors.
Yeah, I'm going to play for the armed one. I'm going to play for those guys. I like the Friends Club in Nepal. I'm playing the Police Club. I don't know about the Friends versus the Police. That doesn't make me feel too good. But
yeah,
the Friends Club has like a red and blue yin yang kind of symbol. I feel good about it. I feel good. I'm down with that, Tommy. I will trust you because this is my pick, and I don't really have a lot of things to pick from. So I am going to go mainly because I want to learn a little bit about it. The Nepal Police Club, who has been featured on the show before, they are playing the Friends Club. I need to know about the Friends Club. Let's see here. You do not have, for information purposes only, anything on that, correct?
No, I do not. No,
That's what I figured.
I did not go that far.
That's what I figured.
So Friends Club. Actually, It looks like they've changed their logo.
Okay. Is it better or is it worse?
I like it. Well, it looks like they've added a flower in front of the yin yang.
Okay, that's good. Friends Club.
Established in 1972 as a children's club with a reading room facility in Kopendal. After a couple of years of its establishment, the club diversified its social activities with a motto of better health through sports among the people of Kopendal.
Yes.
Eventually, Friends Club established itself as a well-reputed local sports club. For the next several years, it remained only as a football club that every now and then organized certain social activities like reading room facility, blood donation, bicycle rally against drugs abuse, etc.
I think they did the other things every now and then. They were a football club, and they did the other things now and then. They weren't now and then a football club.
Since the late 80s, that club has started implementing various training activities for women and children, also started a health clinic and pathology lab, which eventually became very popular among the people of Kopendal and surrounding community. The club has come a long way since 1972 until now, from a sports club to a sports social club.
I like it. They have been in the top flight for a long time. This Nepal National League thing, somebody got banned from. Okay, there must have been some like a breakaway league in Nepal at some point.
Yeah,
we might have to get into that one of these days. The Nepal National League. It looks like there was a breakaway. The clubs got banned, or the league got banned, or something. Very weird. Okay, Ricky, I will catch up with you in 1 second. You tranquilo. This is Friday. This is going to be a weird picks of the week. So I like the Friends Club a lot.
Okay,
I like them. They are my new friends. They are playing the Nepal Police Club, not to be confused with, and I don't know which club it is because it's Nepal APF Club. Okay, there is a Nepal Armed Police Force Club, and there's the Nepal Police Club.
Yes.
These are the not armed members of the police, I guess.
The ambassadors, yes.
So we think they might be on segways. Who knows? I have no idea. They're a middle-of-the-road team in Nepal in recent years. And the Friends Club in recent years
11
has been worse than that.
Yeah.
But they're friends.
Yes.
So that part's nice.
This season,
I'm getting there. We don't have standings or anything, I guess.
I got standings.
You got standings. Sofa Score's like very confused about it. I know that the Friends Club lost this morning to the Armed Police Force 3-1.
Yep. According to the league website, Friends Club is in dead last.
Oh, no.
They are winless in their first 5.
Not good.
2 draws. Goal difference of -5. They've given up 8 goals in their first 5 matches. They've only scored 3. The bottom 2 clubs in the 14 team Qatar Airways Martyrs Memorial A Division League will be relegated to the B Division.
No.
But once again, we're early because hear me out. The Nepal Police Club, through their first 5 matches, they've only won once.
Okay, so they're not that good either. Because the armed guys are with the other team.
Well, and the armed guys are even worse. The Nepal Police Club are 1-2-2. They have a goal difference of -2, and they have 5 points on the season. So they're in 10th, but honestly, the Friends Club are a win away from jumping into this group of Himalayan Sherpa Club, Brigade Boys Club, and Nepal Police Club at 5 points.
I love this league. I would like to commentate on this league one day. By
the way, apparently you can catch the games on Maikuju TV.
Sweet! If I'm up at 2:15, I might watch. This game is actually on Christmas Eve at 6. So if I get up very early to prepare for the show and remember and pull it up, then we might be talking about the Nepal Police Club against the Friends Club on Friday. I am picking the Friends Club. I have to pick the Friends Club. I learned as I've been researching my family that my family were Quakers coming over, also known as the Society of Friends. So I have to pick the Friends Club, right?
Of course you
I
do.
have to.
Yeah.
They're very nice. Who are you picking?
I'm going with the Police Club.
Of course you are. Of course. Yes, Joe Boss, accurate. Sherpas, police, guns, man, what a league. This is the greatest league in the planet.
And they're Himalayan Sherpas, too.
Yes.
And we also have the L-Triptophan Army FC, so we have the Army.
We have an Army club. We have an armed police force club.
We have the Bato Youth Club.
Yes,
we have the New Road team.
We have the Boys Club as well.
Yeah, we have the Boys Club, the Sherpa Club, the 3-Star Club, which I guess isn't quite as good as 4 or 5 stars.
No,
not as bad as 1 or 2 stars.
Of course not.
So yeah, we've got an Army Club, a 3-Star Club, a Youth Club, a Road Team, a Sherpa Club, another Boys Club, police clubs with and without arms, and 2 other youth clubs before we get to our Friends Club in 14.
The New Road team, by the way,
yes.
Who was founded in 1934. So they're not that new.
I was going to say.
The Friends Club is pretty new, 1972, and the Police Club was 52. And I love on Wikipedia, because you have like the boilerplate for all the clubs, and it'll be like full name, it'll be founded, it'll be ground where they play. Of course, they play at the Police Academy. Owner, Nepal Police. Nickname, the Cops. I mean, come on, like it's kind of like duh for all of those. The Friends Club does not have a nickname because they're the Friends Club, of course.
The Friends Club.
They play at the Polchok campus in Lalitpur, Nepal. I need a Friends Club jersey. If somebody can find me one, that would be very, very cool.
Let me see if they have a shop here.
All right, we'll see if you can find that. I will get Ricky updated on this monstrosity of a week in Picks of the Week. Look, it's a holiday week. It's slim pickings to a degree. Also, we're degenerates, Ricky. You know that by now. So Tuesday, it's Barraca Central against Quilmes in the Primera Nacional promotion playoff in Argentina. It's the second division playoff to get to the first division. So Barraca Central hosting Quilmes. It is a one-leg final, and they 138 for Barraca Central, going to extra time or penalties plus 190, Quilmes plus 180. Wednesday, it is a fairly traditional game. It is Hibs in Scotland hosting Aberdeen. Hibs is a plus 155, draw is plus 220, Aberdeen is plus 180. Thursday, we went for the AFF Suzuki Cup final rounds. It's a semifinal. It's the first leg. Vietnam hosting Thailand. We don't have odds on it, but they're pretty even. They're really close in the FIFA rankings. You can find odds. We don't have official numbers for our game. And Friday, we don't have any numbers on the Nepal Police Club hosting the Friends Club. Okay. Saturday is the consensus pick because it might be rough. Sunday is the Twitch pitch. So Saturday, here are the options that we have on Christmas Day. We have the Turkish Super League, so we can get pretty normal Galatasaray or Battlestar Galatasaray hosting Antalyaspor. Trabzonspor is hosting Başakşehir for 2 other clubs you might know. You have the second division in Turkey. You have the Saudi Professional League. You have the AFF Suzuki Cup final rounds, other semifinal with Indonesia hosting Singapore. You have the Chinese Super League relegation something or other. They have some kind of weird relegation thing going on.
Of course they do.
Yeah. You've got games to pick from there. The Kangzhou Mighty Lions.
Against Wuhan. They're playing the whole province?
Yes.
Okay.
Dalian Pro is traveling to Henan Songshan Longmen.
Yes.
No relation. The Premier League in Egypt is active on Saturday. We have the Premier League in Ghana, the whole bunch of games.
Been there before.
Yeah, we have the Azerbaijan League in Iran. I think that's the second division.
That'd be my guess.
Premier League in Israel, Batola Pro in Morocco, which maybe is the first division. I don't know. The Stars League in Qatar. Al Saad, Xavi's former club, is playing Al Khor. We have the UAE Pro League. We have a random friendly between Indonesia and Myanmar. We have the second division in Algeria, all kinds of games. They regionalize it. We have the FA Cup in Hong Kong. We have the Delhi Senior Division in India. We have more in Iran. We have the Kuwait League. We have games in Libya, all kinds of games in Libya. All kinds of games in Morocco. We have more action in Nepal, but we've already been there. We have Palestine, we have Syria, we have Tanzania, we have the Thai League 3, the Air Force. They bring the Air Force into things. And we have all kinds of things in Turkey. Do we want to be boring and go with Battlestar Galatasaray? Or do we want to be adventurous and go to a different country?
I think we haven't. When was the last time we've done anything in the Turkish league?
It's been a while, and I mean, this game. Look, Battlestar Galatasaray is a pretty big favorite. We could go for a little bit better game. Actually, a much better game. This is what we're going with because it's 1 versus 3. Battlestar Galatasaray is 11th in the Turkish league right now, which is not going to go over very well. 1 versus 3 is Trabzonspor, who is leading the league right now by a lot, hosting Başakşehir.
Okay.
Let's go with that. That's a more compelling game.
Yes.
So Trabzonspor is first place. They have lost in their last 5, but they have 42 points so far. They are hosting.
Mm-hmm. We have information purposes numbers.
Well, we have real numbers on this one.
Okay. Well, then
it's Turkey. It's not that hard. I think you can watch this on beIN Sports.
Yeah, I was going to say,
So, plus 110 for Trabzonspor. The draw is plus 220. And Başakşehir is plus 250. Ricky is very happy about Trabzonspor, by the way. Trabzonspor, don't they have some players that we might know from over here? They have at different points, but I don't think they do right now. No, I don't recognize anybody. Because they've been one of those clubs that gets linked with rumors to MLS a good bit. Başakşehir, do they have anybody we might know?
Didn't they have Demba Ba a couple cycles ago?
I think so. Nobody from a quick glance that jumps off the page. In the league, Trabzonspor is 13-1-3. Başakşehir is 9-6-2. Man, Trabzonspor is running away with things. They're 9 points clear of Konyaspor. So they are hosting. They're plus a 110. Başakşehir is the plus 250. Recent matches for these two. Last time they played a friendly in July before the season. They drew. Last time, Başakşehir hosted, Trabzonspor won. Trabzonspor did lose to the second-place team, Antalyaspor, 2-1 on the 11th. They beat Hatayspor 2-0 on the 18th. Başakşehir is unbeaten in their last 3. They drew with Galatasaray, Battlestar Galatasaray. They beat Kasımpaşa, and they went to Hatayspor and beat them 3-0. Beat them like a drum.
Oh, Nasser Chadli is at Başakşehir.
Okay. There's somebody. Sorry, I was glancing. I missed it. What are you picking?
I am going with the leaders at the moment. So we will be sticking with Trabzonspor in that one.
I'm going with the draw.
Okay.
I'm going with the draw. We could get some chaos in this. All right, Sunday. Twitch pitch.
Well, hang on. We have some.
Oh, he's here. Jeez. Sorry, Nick. Do you want to pick?
Hey, look. I don't know if it's worth anything, but how'd I end up last time? That's what I need to know.
You did okay.
Give me a quick rundown. I don't need the full show.
No, we already did that. But you did okay. You finished last time in third place. 233 to the good. You did not get Rio Mahada Honda. I was the only one who got that. You did not get the Brazilian game. The Thursday game didn't happen. You did get St. George, along with everybody but me. You did get Cremonese. We were both on the same page there, and Jarrett was there with us. And nobody got the Open Cup game because everybody picked a winner, and it went to penalties. And you didn't get the prop bet either. I got that. But you got third.
Yeah,
you finished in the positive.
Cash flow positive.
Yeah.
Cash flow positive.
Yeah, that's good for you. Mm-hmm. You beat the Twitch pitch. They were the only negative last week. Yeah, they followed up a win with a minus 137 on a week that everybody else finished in a positive.
Now, Twitch pitch, that's what happens, though. And that's why
pressure gets to you.
When you cut your promo, you have to be ready to take you have to put someone over next week. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to? We can get you caught up really quick. While the Twitch pitch, Ricky, you're captain. You need to come up with your game while we're getting Nick caught up and getting his picks, and let us know while we are getting Nick caught up. So right, Tuesday, it is the promotion playoff in Argentina. Barraca Central hosting Quilmes. 1-game playoff. It's not 2 legs. It's none of that nonsense. It's straight up 1 game. Barraca Central is hosting. Let me 100%.
Give me the numbers.
Give me 1 second. They are hosting, yes. It is at the Estadio Barraca Central. Barraca Central was the better team in the regular season. They're plus 138. Draw plus 190. Quilmes is plus 180. Quilmes started a long time ago. They had cricket. They had lawn tennis. They had all this different stuff. Barraca Central was started by the truck driver. Remember, they beat the Admirals team.
Almirante Brown.
Beat him.
Almirante!
Gone.
We're out of you guys in that.
Staying in the 2nd division.
In the epic head-to-head fighting game Mortal Kombat 2, Baraka was one of the most gangster players in the whole thing. Based on that and that alone, I'm going to go Baraka. Which means that if you are trying to follow any sort of gambling logic, do not follow me down this path.
I picked them because they're the better team. So it was pretty easy.
Okay.
Wednesday, we're in Scotland. Hibs hosting Aberdeen. Regular season match. Hibs plus 155. Draw plus 220. Aberdeen plus 180.
Hey, man. Look, glassy, man. Big glass energy.
All right.
Give me Aberdeen.
All right. Everybody else picked a draw, by the way.
That's fine.
Thursday. Let me make
Scared
sure.
money don't make money.
That doesn't even apply. Why are you just saying random cliches, John? Everybody picked a draw. I don't understand.
That's why Nick went away from it.
No, it's not. He didn't know that. He picked it before I told him.
Look, big glass energy, baby. That's it.
He picked
big
it for a
energy.
different reason.
Steven Glass, if you're listening, man, I support you. Don't listen to these yahoos talking about draws and whatnot.
Yahoos.
Okay? Get this.
Will wants to know why you look like you're cold.
Because you are, probably.
Because I am cold.
Fair enough. That's the easy answer. This is where it starts to go off the rails, Nick, because we're getting into the portion of the schedule where there's not many games to pick from. Thursday, Jarrett picked the AFF Suzuki Cup final rounds, semifinal first leg between Vietnam and Thailand.
All right.
Very even. We don't have official numbers on it. The odds that we have that are for information purposes only are very even. Like FIFA rankings, very even, separated by about 15 spots. Vietnam is hosting this first leg.
Okay.
Who are you picking? Vietnam and Thailand.
We have no numbers for entertainment purposes only?
John has entertainment numbers, not official numbers.
All right, give me the entertainment numbers, please.
Okay, hang on just a second. I will check and go with my AFF Suzuki Cup numbers here. Vietnam is a plus 177. And these have shifted even since.
We start talking about games and things get out of hand.
Yeah. Vietnam is a plus 177. Your draw is a plus 202. And Thailand is a plus 149. A road favorite in this first leg.
Wow. Did we move action on this game?
I think we did.
Y'all are degenerates out there listening live. What's wrong with you people? Because nobody else is talking about this game.
So Thailand's a road favorite?
Yeah. It wasn't that way when we picked it. Unless John read the numbers backwards.
No.
All right, where are they playing?
In Vietnam.
Yeah, we're at in Vietnam.
Let me see if I have that information. I don't have.
Probably the national stadium in Ho Chi Minh City. Yeah, probably.
Probably. Hey, we're deep diving, so I can do this for you. Give me a second. AFF Suzuki Cup, which I'm guessing is like the Europa Conference League of national teams in Asia.
Yeah, because Singapore and Indonesia are playing at 7:30 in the morning Eastern time.
So, okay, now this could be incorrect. This is from Google. I will go just a little bit deeper because now I'm really confused. Vietnam is it's 2 legs. Vietnam is designated as the home team. Google has this at the Singapore National Stadium.
Oh, so it's a centralized location.
And they have the second leg at the Singapore National Stadium as well. Now, they could be incorrect on that. Let's go to the Bangkok Post and see what they tell us. This is a recent article, if it will come up. And Thailand will meet Vietnam in the semifinals after Indonesia fought back after going goal down to beat Malaysia in Singapore on Sunday. So I guess the whole thing's it's all in Singapore. So they're playing two legs, but it's all in one play.
Right.
Because,
I was wondering because from my understanding, some of the Southeast Asian countries are still under lockdown perspective with COVID.
Okay. Very good.
So this is why the degenerate gambler in me says, okay, hold on, where are these guys playing? Because you never know,
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So that makes a little more sense.
I love that they're still playing two legs, though, even though they're both at a neutral site. That's
neutral
great.
site, two-leg location for these playoffs.
That is great.
This is game 1 or game 2?
This is game 1.
This is game 1. I'll take the draw.
Okay. All right, and then Friday, Nick, we went back to a league.
Friday.
You waited for Nick to show up to do it. I know how it is. We went back to a league that we've been in before. We learned a few new things about the Nepal A-League, A-Division League.
That's Nepal.
Well, we learned now that there is a Nepal Police Club, which we knew, and there is also a Nepal Armed Police Force Club. Two separate clubs.
Yes.
We learned that there is a new road team, which is not new at all. They were founded in like the 30s. But they're called New Road Team.
There you go.
But we went with the game between the just average run-of-the-mill Nepal Police Club hosting Friends Club.
Friends?
Friends.
Yes.
Friends
like
Club.
best friends?
Ross, Rachel.
Yes. Yeah. No, not like Ross and Rachel. Jeez.
He makes a good point. Is it like, it's the Friends, is it standard Friends Club, or is it like best friends? Like, or are we talking Orange Cassidy and like in company?
Their logo has a yin yang that is red and blue. No, I actually don't hate the show Friends, Sean Vergara. I just would not have went to Ross and Rachel to describe the word Friends. I don't hate the show.
I hate that show. I
hated how it got. I actually liked it.
First 4 seasons were great.
Might not.
There were when I was a younger gent, there were many a date that went sideways. It's like, oh my god, do you watch Friends? I'm like, no, I hate Friends. And then like a date over.
Wow,
it's like gone.
I liked the first couple, maybe the third season. I can't remember how far I liked it, but it really went bad fast. Anyway, there are better definitions of Friends than that show. Sorry. The logo has the red and blue yin yang, and they've added flowers in front of it because they're the Friends Club. They have, I guess, Nepal Investment Bank Limited at the top of the logo. And the Friends Club, when they started, they're kind of like a social club. They have organized certain social activities like a reading room facility, blood donation, bicycle rally against drug abuse. They've implemented various training activities for women and children. They started a health clinic, a pathology laboratory. They've done a lot of things, and they have a soccer team. This is
the best Friends Club. Okay, all right. So, and they're playing.
They're playing the police.
No. If they're doing this much good in the community, they might be the best Friends Club.
They might be. They're playing the police. I don't know if that's good or bad.
I have to make an investment, and they're playing the police.
They're playing the cops.
Not
the armed police force club.
But
they're just playing the police.
Carabinieri. They're playing the Polizia Locale.
Yes, they're playing the Nepal Police Club.
Grazie. Okay,
and both teams kind of suck this year.
Hey, look, I am going to go with the Best Friends Club.
That's right. That's where I was, Nick. I knew I could.
Orange Cassidy, Chris Statlander.
I went with them because of the Quakers, but you do you. It's okay. It's all good. And then Saturday, Trabzonspor, who is leading the Turkish Super League, hosting Başakşehir, who is in third in the Turkish Super League. 110 for Trabzonspor, 220 on the draw, 250 for Başakşehir.
Is this at Trabzonspor?
Trabzonspor is hosting.
Yeah, I'll take the home team on that one. Turkish League. Those fans are a different level of operation.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Ricky, I think you posted it in the Twitch pitch. Sunday, what did you come up with?
League One, making me proud. It is AFC Wimbledon hosting Charlton Athletic.
Oh, God.
Twitch pitch, I used to like you. I used to like you. It's in the past now.
Seemed that things got away from you in the second half. Can you come in for a little, hey, no, put a boy in a field, with a bit of pint, with a grease and a bang and a mash. Yeah, okay, love it.
Scene.
I need you to call games like that, Nick. That would be amazing. Wimbledon is a 175 at home. The draw is 240, and a road dog for Charlton Athletic 150. Let's see. Recent matches. Last time these teams played was the Gummy Bear Cup in August, and Wimbledon went to Charlton Athletic and won 1-0. Last time they played in League One, because they were both there last year too, it was a 2-2 draw where Wimbledon hosted like this time around, and when they played at Charlton Athletic last December, Charlton Athletic won 5-2. Yeah. Recent form, Charlton Athletic lost on the 18th at Plymouth Argyle 1-0. They beat Cambridge United 2-0. They beat Ipswich Town 2-0. They beat Gateshead in the FA Cup 2-0. And they beat Aston Villa's U21s in the Football League Trophy. If the League Cup is the Gummy Bear Cup, what is the Football League Trophy?
Oh, let's see.
U21s to get it.
The Premier League U21s play in it.
St. Johnston's paint.
It used to be a paint trophy.
Yeah, St. Johnston's paint.
So now it's like an old spray paint can is what it is. That's the trophy.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a rusted
just
spray
making
paint
sure.
can.
Just making sure I know what we're talking about here.
Oh, Sean, I am not having a problem with this pick at all.
They have a million I have a problem with it, Sean. I have a problem with it.
I have a problem.
Oh, Joe Boss, the Krylon Cup. Very good.
See?
Problem with this. Good.
There you go. Wimbledon went to Wickham and drew 2-2 on the 11th. Wimbledon's game last time out against Portsmouth was postponed. Was that Wimbledon's fault or Portsmouth's fault? Don't you have some inside information, John Nelson?
No, then it's obviously Portsmouth's fault.
No. Now you're being biased with your inside information. That is not inside information. That is tabloid.
Problem is that I have vested interest in both of those.
So I have to do research because you don't want to give anything.
Here it is. Portsmouth informed the EFL that it would be unable to fulfill the fixture at Cherry Red Record Stadium due to a number of positive COVID-19 cases in their squad.
Okay.
So blame Pompey.
Okay, well, that's fine because then Wimbledon could be okay for this game. Also, it could get postponed. All right, so they didn't play on the 18th. Wimbledon
is this real Wimbledon or knockoff?
This is real Wimbledon. This is AFC Wimbledon.
Okay.
Well, it's the reconstituted.
Yes, reconstituted.
Yeah.
Okay. This isn't those effing MK Dons folks.
Yeah, yes. But when you get in the lineage and all that, then it's a little more complicated. Nick, just smile and nod, or he's going to go off. Just go along with it. Wimbledon went to Wickham and drew 2-2. They went to Accrington Stanley, which sounds like a law firm, and won 2-0.
It is.
Is it? I mean, it could be. They hosted Cheltenham Town and won 4-3 in the FA Cup. They drew with Fleetwood Town. They beat Crewe Alexandria. The last time Wimbledon lost was at Portsmouth. 2-1 in the league.
That is true.
How long ago was that?
That was on November 20th. They did have a game with Cheltenham Town canceled, and in the spray paint can trophy thing, they lost to Sutton Cup. United. Yes, the Krylon Cup. They lost to Sutton United.
God, the bad times I have a Krylon, man.
I know, seriously.
No runs, no drips, no errors.
Yes. So in the league, Charlton's in 12th. Wimbledon is in 17th. They're separated by 4 points. Not very much. They've scored the same number of goals, and Charlton's given up 4 less goals. They're about as even as it gets. Wimbledon 175, Charlton Athletic 150, draws plus 240. John, what are you picking? You're holding up a certificate that you printed out. So you are part of the supporter society.
I am a part of the Dons Trust, ergo.
It says society, John.
Fine. The Wimbledon Football Club Supporters Society Limited, registered with the Registrar of Friendly Societies as an industrial and provident society.
You're not part of the Friends Club. Don't even try.
I'm part of AFC Wimbledon. Don's Trust for the win.
Fair enough.
John, how many containers of Ovaltine did you have to drink to be able to get that?
All of them.
17, actually.
The secret decoder ring.
Yes, yeah. And you spin it, and it goes.
More Ovaltine.
Exactly. Cherry, red, records.
Red records.
Exactly.
Okay, so yeah. All
What are you picking,
right. Okay.
See, Sean and everybody, they stacked it so they knew what I was going to pick. There's no way, because if I went against the Dons, I'd probably be disowned.
Yeah, they kick you out of the Friends Society of things.
Kick me out of the Don's Trust.
Yes.
All right.
What are you picking, Nick?
If Portsmouth has COVID running wild, COVID mania running wild.
Portsmouth is in place. Charlton Athletic.
Charlton Athletic, one of the worst
Wimbledon
franchises in the league.
That's true, but they're in 12th. They're 5 spots ahead of Wimbledon, John.
Okay, and so Wimbledon is good that we know of.
Better recently, yes.
Recently.
They're 4 points behind Charlton Athletic.
And who are we going against now?
Charlton Athletic.
Charlton Athletic.
They're
Okay,
in 12th.
so Charlton Athletic has got a little bit of a COVID problem.
No COVID problems.
No COVID problems.
Well, they're in England. They probably all have COVID problems. But
they all probably have COVID problems.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take the Dons, man.
There you go.
All right.
Attaboy, brother.
The Dons.
There you go. So here comes Jason.
Charlton Athletic for the win.
Oh God,
They're the better team, better defense, 4 less goals conceded. They're going to win. Who is going to do it for Charlton?
Close draw to me actually, but
I thought about it. I did think about it. Albie Morgan. That sounds like a star right there. Albie Morgan, 21-year-old. He looks like a baby in his picture here on the SofaScore page. 21. He's got an assist. Why is he so highly rated? I have no idea. He plays all over the park. Albie Morgan is going to run roughshod over Wimbledon.
What you gonna do when Albie Morgan runs wild on you?
You're going to duck and hide. That's what you're going to do. That's what you should do anyway. All right. Ricky, they're the better team. I'm picking the favorite. Like that's a crazy thing to do. I'm picking the favorite. And also
Albie
the other
Morgan,
2 guys
2 goals and 6 assists so far for the Addicts this year.
See, there you go. Probably all in the spray paint can thing or whatever.
In the Krylon Cup?
Nah, probably. They are the better team. All right, the
Vandal's choice.
The prop bet.
Only one.
The prop bet, Nick, this was decided by Sean Vergara, and it is the best prop bet of all time. You were way off on the cards in the Copa del Rey. Spanish referees, oh boy.
Are they generous with the cards?
They like to throw the cards.
Blackjack dealers.
All of us were under the number, but I had the most.
All of us were under the number? Because some of you guys went I was like, whoa.
107, and I was 11 shy. It was 118. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Noted.
Yes. All right, let's go to England for the prop bet. The prop bet, and I'm going to total this up really quick. On Boxing Day, Ricky, you are so incorrect. I picked the favored team. Jeez. Prop bet time. Boxing Day games. How many are Jeez, there's already some that are postponed. In the top 4 divisions.
How many more?
Well, yeah, okay, I can note this. It's going to take a second. How many games are postponed due to COVID on Boxing Day in the top 4 divisions? We're not going into the National League. So League 2, League 1, the Championship, and the Premiership. So you have a total of 10 games in the Premiership. What is it? 12? No, 10 in the Championship.
11 in League 1.
Yeah, why can't they get these things consistent? So 31, and in League 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
12 in League 2 with 5 already postponed.
Stupid nonsense. So 43 total games, and we've got... I got
how many?
4
34 you said?
postponed. 43 total.
43.
And in the top 4 divisions.
And I have showing 6 games already listed as canceled on SofaScore. 2 in the championship and 4 in League 2.
I've got 5 in League 2.
Okay. I got Bradford City and Harrogate Town.
Hang on, let me get there. Yes.
Bristol Rovers and Sutton United.
Yes.
Exeter City and Swindon. Well, I mean, you're going to have one extra. Northampton Town and Walsall.
Got that one.
Who's
the other
the
one's
other one?
Newport and Forest Green Rovers.
Okay. Well, SofaScore got that yet.
Forest Green.
One of them.
The Exiles and the Rovers also is your 5th postponement.
One of them's got COVID issues. Again, all of them probably have COVID issues. And then in the championship, I've got Barnsley and Stoke off, and Cardiff and Coventry off already.
15.
So 7 right now. So you're working from 7. You just pick the number that's going to be canceled. Let's not start anything, make it too complicated. But 7 right now. So you're saying 8 more, Nick.
Yep.
Okay. COVID cancellations. That is our prop bet.
I'm going to be super bougie for a moment. The Williams-Sonoma apple cider.
That's pretty good.
Really good.
That sounds good. I like apple cider.
It's really good.
Oh, has Jackie Fresh commandeered the Festivus bag?
No. He will be here. He will be over here on Wednesday or Thursday, and then I can tell you he's gonna want to dive into it. It's legendary. The stuff in there is legendary.
John, how many cancellations? We got 7 on the board right now. How many out of the 43 games across the top 4 divisions in England are going to be postponed?
Carry the 2, divide by 1.
And just
18.
postponed. Okay, 18. Just postponed. So if you get some kind of crazy weather or something, the pitch is frozen, whatever, that accounts too. It's going to be postponed one way or another. All right. We got 7 already. We're going to have more. 43. I don't want to go over. I am going to go with, out of the 43 games in the top 4 divisions, I am going to go with 22.
Oh, wow.
That are canceled. So Twitch pitch, we need yours, and we need Jared's. All right. That is a very degenerate level of ridiculousness of picks of the week this time around. But we did learn about the Friends Club, so I'm very happy about that. That was worth it. Nick, how you feel about VAR and goals taken back and all those things in Italy right now?
I'm glad you asked.
As he twirls his mustache.
Yeah, so I have many thoughts and feelings on that, Jason. I appreciate the question.
Yeah, I figured you might want to talk about it since Napoli beat Milan on the weekend.
You know,
just saying.
I think that I really believe that at some point they're going to, like, I can see the camera shot where the camera like moves quickly to the VAR booth and like snap zooms in, and you're going to see Vince McMahon up there like, it was me all along.
the higher power for VAR.
That's right. We did what's best for business. Get me ratings. And you know, like it's the only thing I can think of right now is they're trying to do what's going to generate clicks and views, and what they don't understand in true WWE fashion is that they're actually being extraordinarily counterproductive. There's no consistency at all with VAR in Italy right now. What used to be the gold standard is no longer the gold standard. Just because you get to the top of the mountain, baby, it's a lot harder to stay there than it is to get there. So, hey, look, Napoli did what they had to do to win. I salute them for that. I'm not putting any of this on Napoli. They did what they had to do.
That's right.
Milan at times looked lifeless, and that's fine. I think David Amayal of the Couchland podcast said it best. You could start a team with the injury list for both sides, and it would beat either one of the teams on the field. So, well, I got a pitch invader. What's happening?
Uh-oh.
I agree with Bernd. Zlatan looks very, very old.
He this season is not he does not have that same pop that he used to have. That's kind of gone now. So, he's going to be moving along his way, but I think there's bigger issues with Milan in general right now, which is why even if VAR's terrible, I can't put it all on them. They've won 2 out of the last 7 games. So half of the issue is with Milan, it was a huge team. There's this tremendous esprit de corps, and that has fallen apart as of late because of some of the personnel moves, in my opinion. You let Donnarumma walk on a free, that's fine. You're kind of sending a signal to Mino Raiola. You have Frank Kessie, who is essentially, he's going to be gone. They're taking the captain's armband from him. They're having to do ring around the rosy with the, with the captain's armband. Milan's a bit adrift at the moment, and so they're going to kind of have to figure out who they are. So as bad as VAR is, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to put it all on them. And congratulations to Napoli for doing what they need to do. All right.
Fair enough.
How you doing?
That's how I feel about it with Spalletti. How you doing?
How you doing?
Kessié is on to bigger things. Kessie, you are correct.
Hey, look, Kessie's already in PSG at this point.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at him. Get your money. I will never fault the player for going and getting his money. Never, no problems with it. But as much as I understand the moves that Elliot's making regarding Milan, at the same time, at some point you have to get something back for these guys. You can't just let these dudes walk out the door and not get anything for it. It's addition by subtraction from a salary perspective, I understand. However, you have to get something back for some of these guys. And part of the ship, part of the crew, I get it. But I'm having questions regarding the business mind here. And it's impacting the squad. The injuries are obviously impacting the squad. I think the Scudetto's out at the moment. And right now it's just make sure you stay top 4 and keep it moving. Juve is going to grind out 1-0 wins and draws at worst. But, look, everybody has schedule compression. So Milan can't use schedule compression as an excuse. We're talking about a Napoli squad that has been absolutely ravaged by injuries. You can't point a finger at them and say, well, they have more. No, it doesn't matter. Napoli has been devastated by injuries. They just played better. Spalletti had them playing a hell of a lot better. So, you got to, at some point, you got to put on your adult draws and go out and do something. And right now, Milan is useless. Zlatan, you're right. Zlatan, this has to be his last season. You cannot count on him anymore. To provide, and they did a lot to mask his age and his inability to run at speed the entire game. They had it where he would essentially, in static situations like set pieces, he would be in the true striker position, or if they were at there was a natural build-up play, he could be the natural striker. However, during counters, he would drop into more of a central attacking mid-role, almost as a false 9, and help be the pivot at the top end and distribute the ball out, which is fine. That's no longer working. So, they've got some issues they got to sort, and I think a lot of it's personnel issues. So I don't know, but VAR is only part of the problem for Milan. But generally for Serie A, yes, VAR's been wildly inconsistent. There's been a lot of issues with it. As much as we give, we can point to players and say, "Hey, look, schedule compression's had an effect on injuries and everything else." It also takes a toll mentally, and I think that the officials here, officials across the board are victims of this. So it's hard for me to completely go on a soapbox and nuke these guys from orbit. I can't really do it. I can just point and say, hey, you guys are being inconsistent. They know it. They know. Still a lot of Vince McMahon vibes coming from VAR right now.
You also have, and Bernd's right, games are all kind of all over the map at the moment because you
Right.
got COVID issues, you got schedule compression, some of the pitches are in bad shape, you got some teams playing behind closed doors, like you're having some referee issues. I mean, refereeing in England was a shocking weekend of that. Man, it just kind of is what it is at the moment.
It is what it is. You can't really nuke them.
I've actually really enjoyed, because I'm a degenerate, like watching some of the games from South America and a little bit from Central America too. The random goal that I put on Twitter yesterday from like the Argentine third division final was just a beautiful goal. And I kind of have had that feeling like burned of some of these games with big teams. It's just like, man, this isn't good at the moment. And you're getting these random games where you get like just a moment of brilliance. I mean, dude like pops it up and juggles it off his thigh and then rips a volley into the far side netting. It's like, okay, that's what I'm watching for. That's pretty cool. The first leg of the Colombian final last night was really good. 1-1 with Tolima and Deportivo Cali, and second half got delayed because of all the streamers that the Deportivo Cali fans threw on the pitch, and they had to get them all off the pitch. They kept blowing back on the pitch, or more got thrown. I don't even know. It was good. The pitch was terrible in that game, by the way, but it was good. There's been some fun games. Games in Central America right now. Most of South America, I think maybe all of South America is shut down at this point with finals and breaks and all that. But in Central America, you do still have a little bit left. Herediano, our old friends from Costa Rica, they won the title in their Centenario year. In their 100th year, they won the Costa Rican title over Saprissa. Very cool to see. Those guys were so good to us when we went down there in 2019. In El Salvador, Alianza won their 16th league title. They beat Platense in the final. I'll have to break out my Alianza shirt this week. And in Honduras, Olimpia won the first leg of the final over Real España 2-0. They go to Real España in the second leg on Thursday. That should be on Central America TV. It might actually be on Fox Deportes because they've picked up some Honduran games. And Olimpia is trying to win their fourth straight league title. And we've seen them a lot in CONCACAF Champions League. They've been really good. Guatemala is in the semifinal round, and our crazy tiger cheetah thing that has the cracked out eyes. There's FC Santa Lucia. They're still alive. They're still alive. They're into the semifinals, so we're rooting for FC Santa. They posted something about Vamos Santa. I was like, that's kind of perfect this week, right?
70% of the time, it works every time.
Cracked out tigers. Always. That always works, Nick. You give the tiger crack, it always works. I'm not fighting the thing. Come on. The second leg of the Colombian final is on Wednesday, if you're looking for a game to watch. If you're also looking for something crazy to watch and you've never seen it, and I've only seen little bits and pieces of it, BN Sport right now has the Pro Foot Volley Tour. And you've got an Argentine team. It's like beach volleyball, except it's foot volley, which means you don't use your hands. And it is a Argentine team against an American team. Nick Mendonca, it's probably Portuguese, is also, he's paired from the U.S. team with Will Superboy. That's what it says on the screen. Will Superboy. Superboy is in quotes. Okay, he's Superboy. And they're playing the Argentines. And Will Superboy is leading the U.S. to a big win right now. So foot volley, they set the ball up on the sand and like kick it in for the serve.
Okay.
And it's volleyball without your hands. So you get a lot of headers. Setting is with the head or sometimes with the chest. The spikes are insane because it's not like a bicycle kick where you're stationary and you're biking it that way. You're running up to the net like you would for a spike in volleyball, but you're flipping and hitting it with your foot. Mm-hmm. It's insanity. So these crappy games, watch the foot volley tour. That's all I'm saying.
We had a couple of Colombian transfer students come in at the good old East Paulding High, and actually East Paulding Middle, excuse me, and they we were playing volleyball, and as soon as the ball came over to the net, the first thing the kid did was bounce it off his chest and try to kick the ball over the net. We were all like, "Wait, what in God's name are you doing?" The guy's like, "This is how we play. Like, what do you want me to do? This is how we." We're like, "All right, cool, man, have fun."
Beach volleyball, where you can use your foot, like you can't in indoor, but in beach volleyball you can use it. So there's some rules about it. We were kind of loose with it when we played beach volleyball all the time in college. I rescued many a point because I had grown up playing soccer, so I could use my feet all right. But this stuff's nuts. The spikes are what's blowing my mind. Will Superboy just led the U.S. to a win. I need to learn more about Will Superboy. They were showing some highlights over the weekend of Romario and Ronaldinho playing foot volley. And Ronaldinho did something just stupid with a volley that was ridiculous. Romario might have been drunk. I don't know. Ronaldinho might have been drunk.
They both might have been.
That's true. Let's be honest.
To be completely honest.
You're very true. You're very, very true. Ricky Ricardo has shared an article from ESPN in Mexico with us to say that Jürgen Damm is on the radar of Chivas,
Santos Laguna, and Toluca.
Yeah, but the headline went with Chivas because, of course, that's what you're going to do with the headline because it's frickin' Chivas. It wouldn't surprise me at all if something like that comes up. It wouldn't. We've talked about it a ton anyway. It just, he is a player who is coming off a couple years of injuries. Somebody might come in and bring him in. He's going to move the needle for teams in Mexico. Chivas is trying to have a little bit of a bounce back, if I remember correctly. It wasn't a great year for them. So, yes, Jürgen Damm to Mexico, to Liga MX, to any of those teams, I can buy that conversation would be had. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And look, again, there's not with Jürgen. He really, I think, did his best in the beginning to try to endear himself to this fan base. Yeah. He was always doing stuff on social media that was, like entertaining and fun. When the injury bug hits, it especially as you are a player who starts getting up. Can't believe I'm saying up in age. Especially when you start getting into your upper 20s, right, pushing into 30s. A lot of these injuries, one, don't go away as quickly, and two, lead to compound injuries, meaning you have an injury with your quad on your right leg, and so that ends up getting sorted, but then all of a sudden you end up getting some kind of hamstring pull on your left, and that's because you're favoring one leg.
Yeah.
You don't quite have the full, you're not quite working your other leg quite as you should, and or you're working one more than the other, and as a result, these little injuries start to pick up, and once they start happening, man, it's like an avalanche. You really have to take time out, heal totally, mentally and physically, and then get back out there. And I just don't think he's ever been able to do that. So
in the craziness that the last 2 years have been, or really the 18 months since he became active with the team, no. I mean, it last year, it felt like every time he'd get going, there'd be another hamstring pull. The second half of this year, I mean, after that game in Foxborough, which, again, remember, early in the season, they had to travel the day of, and they flew into Providence, which is a 2.5 hour flight.
Yep.
Got on a bus, about 45 minutes to Foxborough, and then you play, not right away, but you play later that day. 2 muscle injuries in that game, Barco and Jürgen Damm.
Yep.
So if you live in Atlanta and you're watching this and you're like, okay, it's Foxborough, no big deal. Imagine flying into Hartsfield and immediately having to drive to Paulding County.
Yeah.
You have to
either way you go. If you fly into Boston or you fly into Providence, it's 45 minutes minimum.
Oh God! We had to cover lacrosse out in Foxborough, and we were staying in Boston. That is a haul because Foxborough is in God's country, Massachusetts, and believe me, there is God's country, Massachusetts, and it is in the middle of nowhere. It is very much like Paulding County or Polk County, where it's nothing. There's some small residential areas, and then boom, there's this shopping center and a stadium, and that's it. So, no, but it is something where those soft tissue injuries, man, they build up so quickly, and you can't really shake them that easily either. So if he stays and he's healthy, great. But with these players that are speed players, right? When they're everything's working well, it's like, oh yeah, of course we want this guy on the team. Oh, absolutely, like you're stupid if you don't want him on the team. However, when the injuries hit, especially when the cold weather and in the rain and on natural surface, it is all it takes is the smallest thing once you get north of like 30, and it's a wrap. Then you're not done for 2 games. You're done for like 6, 7, 8 games at a clip, and then you start to lose value on that signing. And so I would be very cautious on him. One, I really hope that he goes somewhere and he's healthy and he can succeed. So I'm not going to join the Jurgen slander train.
Right.
So because it's an injury issue, not a bad player issue.
Yeah. Hard worker from everything that I've ever heard about training sessions, and he came, back into the team healthy at the very end and stayed healthy and contributed off the bench. I mean, he gave you everything you needed every time you turned to him off the bench. We got a new air horn, Nick. It's exciting. It's the next quarterfinal in the foot volley. It's Team Brazil against Team Mexico.
Oh, God.
Team Brazil's already 2-0 up.
Wow.
Get up. It's gonna get ugly.
Let's say this.
Sorry, Julio Vera and Candido Sousa. It's not going to end well for you. You don't want to play the Brazilians in foot volley. Come on.
No.
It's going to be bad. Going to be very bad. We also have another new feature to wrap up the show tonight. Unless there's anything else you want to jump into, Nick. It is you did join us late.
I was just going to say, if you ever talk to anyone from the Rio area, it's pretty much 2 things they're doing on the beach if they're not engaging in standard water sports, and that's
be careful.
Vale Tudo and in some sort of foot volley action. So you want none of it. You want none of that smoke.
No, I guess you have to create the little sand dune thing to do the serve off of. That's interesting.
Yeah. You take some 2
Good
seconds.
grief, that dude got some air trying to go for the spike. Oh, crap. This thing is nuts. I'm watching this the rest of the evening. All right. We do have an update, and we have new music for our good friend.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God. Is this the new music? We're wasting new music on this?
Hey! Nicholas Bentner! This felt like Bentner to me. Thank you for the new music, Nick. I appreciate it. We have to have an intervention. Not for Bentner, but for Nikolai Baden Fredriksson, young Danish striker, scored 2 fantastic goals for Vitesse in their cup victory over Sparta Rotterdam. Free kick, cheeky heel finish. He's a stud. Okay? Now, the problem is, according to some in the Netherlands, he has been criticized for appearing lazy on the field. But he explained it. He looks up to Nicholas Bentner.
Oh, God.
No.
This is what he had to say. I just take my meters and my sprints. It shows all parameters of the club. Everything's measured. This is translated from Danish. I just run 10 kilometers per match. I also understand that it seems like I'm not really participating. I just see my moments. He started with a good one. Like Filippo Inzaghi, maybe. My role model is Nicholas Bentner.
Bang.
Not because of his personality, but because of his style. And he's also Danish. No, of course.
The people Inzaghi slander that people drop when they're lazy. Like, I'm more like a people Inzaghi, you know? No. You're more Mo Mozzarella than you are the people Inzaghi, man. Get out of here with that mess. Just because he's always offside doesn't mean anything.
How you doing?
It's Mo Mozzarella!
You know what that's from. Yes, so there's a new star Danish forward, but he says Nicholas Bentner's his hero. So we need an intervention, like now.
Yes.
Now.
Like now. Somebody go to Vitesse and get with this kid and make sure he does.
You got to get him out.
Yeah.
Get him out.
Get him out of Denmark.
First.
Get him to South America. Like get him somewhere completely different where he can stay
there's
far
no
away.
Wi-Fi and he can't do any kind of research or anything.
Because Bentner might try to hang out with the kid after he name dropped him, and that's always a problem.
I want him to go to Leeds. And I want Bielsa to like the movie The Transporter, come running up and double drop kick this dude squat in the chest. Like, I think I'm on Nicholas Bentner.
Look, the
like
kid
right through.
The kid's 21. He just joined Vitesse from. Oh, he was. No, okay, he was loaned to Juventus' U23s for a minute. No, he did go to Juventus, and he was loaned.
Hold on. He's a striker?
He's a striker.
And he did not make Juve starting squad?
So let's see. He was at Nordsjælland, and then went to Juventus' U19s in 2018 for $1.38 million. Moved up to the 23s. Went on loan to Fortuna Sittard. Went on loan to... Bernd, you would know about this. WSG Tirol in Austria. Went on loan there for a year, the 2020-2021 season.
Hold on. He said...
But he was sold from Juventus to Vitesse for $2 million in July.
But hold on, you said Tirol?
Tirol in Austria.
Yeah. Okay, so the Bolzano... The town that we're talking about previously that was doing the kind of staged lockdown.
Yeah.
There's an area there named which is South Tyrol, and they have the multiple, which is probably like if he's anywhere in that area, he would be on Juve's radar.
Well, he was at Juve, so they loaned him there.
Right.
So he was.
Juve
bought him
on Juve's radar.
No. Juve turned a profit on him. They bought him from Nordsjælland for 1.38 in 18. They sold him in July for 2.01. Okay. So they turned a profit. He went out 50%. On loan a couple of times, but he is now at Vitesse, and he's got 10 goals in 26 games in all competitions so far, lighting it up. But keep him away from Nicholas Bentner.
Mm-hmm.
All I'll say is this: just because Juve turns a profit on a player doesn't mean the player's good. That's all I'm
well,
say.
No, but he's got 10 goals in 26 games in the Dutch First Division. That's pretty good.
Okay.
You're just hating on him because he's Danish and he likes Bentner.
Yeah.
That's fine. Just
look, I don't have a problem with Danes in general. Johanna Rasmussen was I think was a very good Danish women's player. Klaas Bang did Netflix's Dracula, which I thought he was very good in. And he's gonna be in the new Viking movie with the dude from True Blood. All the ladies love him. The tall blonde guy. My head's all over the place. It's been a hell of a week.
That's okay.
But just so. But yeah. So look, I'm good with the Danes, and they make fantastic mead. Amazing mead.
Okay.
All right. No problem with the.
You're just not cool with Bentner.
I'm not cool with Bentner. He hid in a bathroom. From Arsene Wenger. What's he going to do?
No, wasn't he hiding from?
He's going to give you an economics
lesson
for 4 hours?
Wasn't he hiding from Thierry Henry?
I think
he was hiding from
Thierry Henry. What are you going? Okay, all right. Thierry Henry.
Yeah, I mean that is kind of soft.
Come on, man, get out of here.
It's kind of soft. I do love that. Well, in other Bentner trivia, 14 years ago this week, he scored the winning goal just 6 seconds after coming on as a sub against Tottenham. Sorry, Spurs fans. It was a corner. He comes running in. Fabregas took it. And Bentner, he went up. He had some ups back then, and he won the header, and he scores. So that's pretty cool. And also, I love that this comes up on the Twitter timeline. Somebody asks a random question. Just a random person. Who is the best inconsistent footballer you know? Someone that if they were consistent, they'd probably be mentioned several times among the best in the world. And somebody said that year it was easily Nicholas Bentner, which he was probably in that conversation at one point. Mm-hmm. Best inconsistent footballer you know. That is the final question of the night. Oh, good shout. Yeah, everybody thought he was gonna be the guy.
Oh, everyone did. When they were done with Inter was done with Ronaldo Phenomenal, they started bringing in Adriano. We were like, good Lord, not another one. Like they had look, that dude's story is unbelievably heartbreaking. But if I have to put a player with most inconsistent player, it had to be Adriano.
Yeah,
he had he was that dude when he was on. It was like, good Lord, this guy's going to be amazing.
Team Mexico's coming back in the foot volley, by the way, at 7-5.
Alexander Skarsgård, by the way, who's going to be in the movie with Klaus Bang.
Best inconsistent footballer.
Like 6'7".
Best inconsistent footballer, John.
Well, I would have agreed with Ben.
No, give me an original one.
Andy Carroll.
Ooh, best?
He was pretty inconsistent. Yeah,
he's definitely got the inconsistent part. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's got the best portion of it.
Well, he had the money that was surrounding him, like on transfer fees.
Yeah.
It was like who's really evaluating this guy?
Yeah. Oh, Will says Freddie Adu.
I don't know if he gets the best either.
With Freddie Adu, I'll say this. Freddie came in at a time in the league when there were a lot of established players, and this 15-year-old kid comes in and has Sports Illustrated front covers and everything else, and that poor kid got destroyed. They cleared that kid in the kingdom come. Now, if we're willing to factor that into the equation, then I completely agree. Yeah, he can be on the Rushmore of inconsistent.
We have two
players.
Suggestions from the Twitch pitch. Byrne brings up Paul Gascoigne, which is a really good shout. Will brings up Nick's favorite, James Rodriguez.
Yeah.
James is a really good shout.
I like James. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that he goes, yeah.
That's a really good shout.
My Twitter was essentially Chernobyl Reactor 4 for about 3 days after we did the great the night of too many podcasts at Rira.
Oh yeah,
may Rira rest in peace.
Yes,
and we had a conversation, a very similar one, and the subject of Colombia came up, and I essentially said, yeah, James needs to go to MLS. And you would have thought that I had said something to the
I said it a bunch. I was right there with you.
Extraordinarily outlandish, man. My Twitter account was new, but I kept dropping stats because they were like, he's done this trophy and this trophy and this trophy, and for each trophy I went through, and I posted his minutes for said team in which he was hoisting a trophy, and the conversation sort of died down. I'm gonna throw that out there. So whatever he does with the national team, I think James is a great shout, because when he's with the national team, he is a different player than he is with a club team.
Sorry, the Brazilians are mixing it up. They just went up with a powerful header over the net, a header spike, not the flying foot spike.
Oh, my.
Very impressive. They're up 11-8. James qualifies. I was trying to think of the best American to put in this. And there's not an easy one. There's not like an obvious. I mean, you can go like kind of like Adriano when you're talking about injuries playing into it, and you'd say John O'Brien and what John O'Brien could have been.
Yeah,
maybe one of the best midfielders the U.S. has ever had, but he was healthy for like 12 months in his career, I think, and at least one of those was at the World Cup in 2002.
That 2002 squad was nuts. Like the collective, their collective drive of that U.S. team was nuts.
You got some incredible performances, and you got the right group. Like you had O'Brien, his moment in the sun. You had baby Landon, baby DeMarcus Beasley, who could play. You had Eddie Lewis, like his cross to Donovan. You had Tony Sane, who was maybe the best right back in the whole freaking tournament. How did he get up for that ball? This is insane. That's a rally.
See,
Sorry.
now we need to go watch this stuff.
He chested it over and got the point. And he did like the spin afterwards because nobody expected it.
If I was able to do that, you wouldn't be able to tell me nothing.
I would be strutting around everywhere I went. Dude just chested it over and caught everybody by surprise. Mm-hmm. It's like the dink when you go up for the spike.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He chested it. Wow. Who would it be from the U.S. men's national team, the best inconsistent player?
Would Wando count?
He could. No, I got it. Jeff Agus.
Yeah,
because
I had Agus in my head, but I was afraid to pull the trigger on
Yeah, Agus is it for me because league performance, top notch, very, very good. He had some just incredible years in MLS and really good performances with the national team. And then he'd have a couple shockers. Just some, like, he had an own goal against Jamaica. He got a stupid red at the Estadio Azteca, but they were able to eke out a draw with 10 men. But yeah, he had some shockers. He had the own goal in 2002. Yeah, Jeff Agus, because he was really good for long portions. Will says Pulisic. No, that's not true. That's
We're not
mean.
there yet. Come on.
He's not inconsistent.
Hey.
No, I'm not putting him there.
Ayo.
No. You can go to footvolley.net and order your own backyard foot volley set. Wonder Boy is not promoting
Let's
it.
look at this for a moment. Let's look at this for a moment because
All right.
injuries have played a
Leon
significant
Bailey's
role.
a good shout. Yes.
And there's been a tremendous amount of talent with this kid. There's been a lot of opportunity, but he's someone who should be starting, and he is not, largely because of the injuries, right?
I mean, it's debatable on if he should be starting at Chelsea with that team that they have.
Yeah.
Especially now, because remember, when they brought him in, they paid that much. They didn't have some of the guys they do now because Roman decided to go spend a bunch of money.
Right.
So, I mean, I think he's probably about where he should be with that group because he's playing a good bit. The injuries are the biggest issue. I think the inconsistency for him, and that's why even with like Adriano or John O'Brien, I feel a little sad in putting them in this conversation because it's injuries that created the inconsistency.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to put that with Pulisic. I think somebody more like Agus is maybe a better fit. Well, I mean, Will, you are right. His highs are so far from his lows. That's true. Attacking players have that to a degree because, it's did they score? Did they create a chance? Okay, if they didn't, then they didn't do anything. I think he gives you more than that. Yeah. I don't want to put him there yet, but you're convincing me a little bit. I don't feel good.
I still need a bigger sample size.
Yeah, I don't feel good about it. I don't like it.
I can feel it though, Will. I can feel it. I'm there with you.
I don't like it.
I'm there with you
about it at all. All right.
Because it's the deviation, right? Between
I think there's an explanation. It's not because he's inconsistent. I think some of it is playing time and some of it is injuries, more so than just inconsistency.
Yeah, and that's where I lean on that one with the injury. The injuries are allowing me a larger sample size before I make that kind of a decision.
All right, it's 15-10 for the Brazilians.
All right, well,
BN Sports in English.
All right, BN Sports in English.
The Mexican team is hanging in. They're doing pretty well. That'll pretty much do it for us. Kefsy's cat loves the foot volley, and Kefsy's freaking out about the double backflips of the net. The spike with the feet is just mind-blowing to me. The powerful headers I get, like for spikes, but the crazy leaping foot attack is wild.
Yeah.
So what we need is somebody to record this and then put the sound effects from Street Fighter 2 behind it.
Yes, it would work.
Like when they do like the... Just throwing that out there. Hadouken!
Finish him.
It would absolutely work.
That's Mortal Kombat, sir.
Yeah, so, close enough. Also, Nick, I will leave you with this. Milan is still linked to Julian Alvarez, and the latest on Julian Alvarez out of River in Argentina, this is from Ole this morning. The release clause right now for him is $20 million. It's $25 million in the last 10 days of the transfer window. River Plate's trying to keep him. They're saying, hey, look, if you go somewhere else, you might not play all the time. If you stay here, you're going to play regularly the next year, and you could play in the World Cup because you've already been called in for the senior team. You were at Copa America. They're saying if you want to go to the World Cup and you want to play, you need to be playing regularly. He's been linked to Juve, Milan, Inter, Leverkusen, Barca, Manchester United, Bayern, Atleti. He's been linked everywhere.
I was going to say, who hasn't he been linked to?
Inter, I don't think he's starting at Inter because I think Inter's got a really good thing going right now. I think Juve needs talent across the board, but there's no guarantee that if Allegri doesn't think that you can facilitate a defensive role as well as he thinks should be executed, it does not matter how exciting you are on the attack. He will put your butt on the bench. Come to Milan, start, you can play, you can be a difference maker.
The Manchester United rumor mill is really churning on Julian Alvarez right now.
Hey, press!
I don't think he fits that, though. No, he shouldn't go there because of that. He said, I don't want to play this nonsense garbage. I want to score goals because he is out of... I was trying to find the stat. Out of leagues that started in like the second half of the year, he's 5th in the world in goals. Out of like all leagues. I mean, he went insane for River in terms of goals. He should go now, and Milan should be all about it. $20 million, cut the check, Milan.
Cut the check.
Do it.
That's it's within reason. It's $20 million.
$20 million for the release clause. I mean, you have to pay him well, but not like crazy stupid money.
No. They have to pay. No. Is he represented by Raiola?
He is not. Mino is doing all of the things when it comes to Erling Haaland. He is playing all of the games. He's saying, "Hey, we can wait. You know, we could stay at Dortmund for another year. Yeah, we don't have to go right now. We could stay. We might wait for Barcelona to get their money right." He's playing that game.
Okay.
Well, Barcelona somehow convinced Goldman Sachs to give him another $1.5 billion for their infrastructure project.
Get my money.
They are, exactly. They are over $2 billion that they owe Goldman Sachs now.
Two double extra large.
Hey, if you have a credit limit,
they don't have
on that platinum card of like, $35,000. Brother, you don't have $35,000. Amex has $35,000.
They got $2 billion.
Yeah.
Goldman Sachs has that billion.
Goldman Sachs got $2 billion of FC Barcelona is what they got.
We will see.
Get my money right.
Goldman Sachs FC. Here we go.
What a spike! The Brazilians are awesome. No, that was the Mexico spike. Sorry, they weren't very similar outfits. Good grief. 20-18. All right, that's going to do it. We talked about the Alan Franco one. I know Joe Boss asked at the beginning. We talked about it at the beginning. It's a offer from Sao Paulo, according to Cesar Luis Merlo, of a loan with an obligation to buy. But it's an offer from Sao Paulo for him, is what it stands. I don't think Sao Paulo can hit the magic number to get anybody out of bed to make it worthwhile because they're not exactly a rich club at the moment.
And if they have money on Monday night, that does not necessarily mean they're going to have that same money on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Because they're not exactly fiscally responsible.
Right. It is like the way, at least the report is, it's not a loan with an option to buy. I think it's important to specify it's a loan with an obligation. So that would be the terms. But they didn't pay Dani Alves, and he walked, and that's why he's at Barcelona and could leave and go there on a free. So because they didn't want to pay him, or didn't pay him, or couldn't pay him, or whatever.
There's a lot of talent in Brazil still, despite what you may have heard.
Yeah,
there ain't a lot of money. So
some clubs there are, but not everybody. It's very inconsistent, to use the word of the night.
Right. Yes. There we go.
I don't think Sao Paulo is the one who could drop the kind of money to make it make sense, is what I keep coming back to. So we'll see.
Yeah. No, I'll agree with that.
We'll see. But that's out there. Merlot's legit with his reporting, but he's very specific in what's being reported here. He's saying that Sao Paulo made an offer. That's it. Nothing about the response to the offer or anything like that. So that's it for us. Tomorrow morning, we got Dylan Butler on the show, and we will go through the underrated 11 in MLS. We will try to determine a consensus underrated best 11 in Major League Soccer. I am looking forward to seeing who makes it to this list.
Yes.
That'll be tomorrow. Nick, we might need to get your help next week on a show for the morning. Well, we're going to have to get your contribution on one show that I'm planning for the end of the year. That's going to happen. That's going to be a roundtable special. But Tuesday morning next week, we are going to jump into the future and do what we would like Major League Soccer to look like in 2032.
Ooh.
2032. How we want it structured, how we want it to look, how we want it to be. So it might be, if you can join us, it'd be great. If you can't, it might be a taped.
I think I can
carve out a little time.
I have some heads up. I'll see what I can do. See if I can work that
next
out.
Tuesday. So put that one on your calendar.
Very well.
All right. That'll do it for us. Nick, send us home.
All right, so we are trying to put together some excellent content offerings for you. Some of those content offerings are kind of in flux right now. Omicron, Omarion is a little all over the place right now. So you can help us put better content stuff out there if you do your part, and that is just try to be responsible, man. Be safe. Get that mask, get those shots and whatever. Do all the fun stuff. That's it. Take care of yourself and do all that stuff. If you're out there right now and you're kind of freaking out, take a breath. We will all be okay. We pulled through this BS before. We can do it again. All right, because now we have the tools. To quote Winston Zedmore, we have the talent. So. We can get it done, all right? So, look, to stick with us, we appreciate everybody out there listening, and I wish I could have come to the SDH meet and greet. Unfortunately, I had some family stuff that intruded and was not able to do so, but I was with you guys in spirit. It looked like it was a phenomenal time. I will try to join next week. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great, great night. And oh my gosh, yeah, I knew I could feel it. I could feel the news coming.
Mexico tied it. It was 2020.
Send us home so we can go watch the
but
ending.
Brazil's going up 21-20 now. It's a back and forth foot volley match.
Mucho Euro. Go turn that on right now. Bye-bye.